Hi friends, my name is Maruti and I'm the co-founder of Cracku. In this video, we are presenting the quant solutions of CAT 2023. All the three slots, all the questions, we have presented detailed video solutions. We'll first show you the question. Please pause and try to answer it on your own. If you are not able to answer it, look at the video solution. Even if you're able to answer it, try to see how I have answered it. And if you feel that your solution was better, or if you feel that there was a better way in which you can answer the question, definitely do comment below this video. I look at all the comments and I'll try to reply to them. In addition to it, if you are preparing for CAT 2024, I want to give you three very good resources which are completely for free and they are used by thousands of students. The first one is 3 free CAT mocks. We have 3 mocks in the latest pattern, all of them with detailed video solutions, and they're taken by thousands of students. You should definitely check out the 3 free CAT mocks by Cracku. The link to take them is given in the description of this video. The second thing, which I think most of you know, is the previous year's papers. Cracku provides all the CAT previous year's papers in PDF format completely for free. The PDFs are also intelligently designed such that when you're going through the PDF, if you're stuck in any question, the link to watch the video solution is given directly in the PDF. So if you are not able to solve any question and if you want to watch the video solution, you can click on the button given in the PDF. You will be redirected to the video solution directly. The third, which is very good free resource, is the CAT revision videos. Cracku has 4 CAT revision videos. 2 are for quant, 1 for LRDA and 1 for verbal. The quant videos are 2 hours long each, so overall it is a 4-hour video. LRDA and verbal videos I think are around 1.5 hours long. I myself use the verbal revision videos because many times just one day before the examination, I look at the verbal videos so that I get whatever tips that Sally has given. I always find them to be very, very useful. They're very specific, especially with respect to the verbal ability section. That is how to answer para summaries, how to answer para jumble questions. In that video, she explained them very, very well. And I myself look at them one day before the examination. So I would definitely recommend you to check out all the 4 revision videos. In this question, we are told that n is the least positive integer such that 168 is a factor of 1134 to the power n. What is 168? If you are doing the prime factorization of 168, this is 2 into 84 or this is 8 into 21. So this is 2 cube into 3 into 7. That is the prime factorization of 168. What is the prime factorization of 1134? 1134 is equal to 2 into 567. What is 567? It is 7 into 81. So this is 2 into 3 to the power 4, which is 81 into 7. What we are told is that 168 is a factor of 1134 to the power n, or 2 cube into 3 into 7 is a factor of 2 to the power n into 3 to the power 4n into 7 to the power n. This is basically 1134 to the power n. When will this happen? This will happen only if n is greater than or equal to 3. This is the power of 2. 4n is greater than or equal to 1. And n is greater than or equal to 1. All 3 of them have to match. All 3 of them have to be satisfied. That is, the power of 2 in the factor has to be less than or equal to the power of the factor in the multiple. That is, 2 cube has to be less than or equal to 2 to the power n. 3 to the power 1 has to be less than or equal to 3 to the power 4n. 7 to the power 1 has to be less than or equal to 7 to the power n. All 3 of them have to be satisfied, and they will be satisfied essentially if n is greater than or equal to 3. And because n is the smallest integer for which this is satisfied, the value of n is equal to 3. Once we are told this, we are also told that m is the least positive integer such that 1134 to the power n is a factor of 168 to the power m. What is 1134 to the power n? 1134 to the power n is equal to 1134 whole cube. 1134 is 2 into 3 to the power 4 into 7. So this is equal to 2 cube into 3 to the power 12 into 7 cube. This, we are told, is a factor of 168 to the power m. 168 to the power m is 2 cube into 3 into 7 whole to the power m. This is 168 to the power m. This is 2 to the power 3m into 3 to the power m into 7 to the power m. Again, if this number is a factor of this number, it would imply that 2 cube has to be less than or equal to 2 to the power 3m. That is, 3 has to be less than or equal to 3m. 3 to the power 12 has to be less than or equal to 3 to the power m. So 12 has to be less than or equal to m. And 7 cube has to be less than or equal to 7 to the power m, or 3 has to be less than or equal to m. All three of these inequalities have to be satisfied. And the smallest value of m for which this is satisfied is if m is equal to 12. So m is equal to 12, n is equal to 3. The value of m plus n will be equal to 15, which is option B. In this question, we are told that x and y are positive real numbers such that log of x square plus 12 to the base x is 4 and 3 times log x to the base y is 1. We are required to calculate the value of x plus y. If you are looking at this equation, we are going to get that x square plus 12 is equal to x to the power 4. We can factorize this. Let us assume that x square is equal to a. Therefore, x to the power 4 is equal to a square. So this equation essentially becomes equal to a plus 12 is equal to a square, or a square minus a minus 12 is equal to 0. This would imply that a minus 4 into a plus 3 is equal to 0. So the value of a is either equal to 4 or the value of a is equal to minus 3. A is x square, so it cannot be negative. So this is not true. So x square is equal to 4. So either x is 2 or minus 2. But again, we are told that x and y are positive real numbers. Also, x is part of the base of a logarithm. So x cannot be negative. So x is not equal to minus 2. So the value of x is 2. Once we know the value of x, from this equation we can calculate the value of y. Because this would imply that log of x to the base y is equal to 1 by 3, or x is equal to y to the power 1 by 3, or y is equal to x cube. X is 2, so y is equal to 8. Therefore, the value of x plus y is 2 plus 8, which is equal to 10, which is option C. In this question, we are given an equation square root of 5x plus 9 plus square root of 5x minus 9 is 3 times 2 plus root 2. We are asked to calculate the value of square root of 10x plus 9. In this question, we have one variable which is x and we have one equation. So we should be able to solve it. In these kind of questions, if you directly square this expression, you are going to get 5x plus 9 plus 5x minus 9 plus square root of 5x plus 9 into 5x minus 9, which is 25x square minus 81 is equal to the square of 3 plus 2 root 2. This looks messy because we will have the value of x outside the square roots, we will have the value of x inside the square root, so it just looks more complicated. The trick to solving these kind of questions is by taking one of these two to the other side. That is, we will make this as square root of 5x plus 9 is equal to 3 plus 2 root 2. Just for the sake of explanation, let this number be equal to k. So this is equal to k minus square root of 5x minus 9. Because now if you square both of the left hand side and right hand side, we will get 5x plus 9 is equal to k square minus 2k into square root of 5x minus 9 plus 5x minus 9. Now the difference to earlier is 5x gets cancelled. So we are going to get 2k into square root of 5x minus 9 is equal to k square minus 18. Now k is a constant, so we can calculate the value of k square. So we'll have only one term, which is square root of 5x minus 9, which again we can take a square and calculate the value of x. That is what we are going to do. What is the value of k square? If k is equal to 3 times 2 plus root 2, the value of k square is equal to 9 times 4 plus 2 plus 4 root 2. This will be equal to 54 plus 36 root 2. That is the value of k square. So k square minus 18, which is the right hand side over here, will be equal to 36 plus 36 root 2. This is the value of 2 times. What is the value of k? K is 3 times 2 plus root 2 into square root of 5x minus 9. We can first cancel this 6 and divide this by 6, which will be equal to 6 plus 6 root 2. So 6 plus 6 root 2 is equal to 2 plus root 2 into square root of 5x minus 9, or root 2 into root 2 plus 1, which is basically equal to 2 plus root 2 into square root of 5x minus 9 is equal to 6 times root 2 plus 1. We can cancel root 2 plus 1. We can divide this by root 2, so this becomes 3 root 2. So the value of square root of 5x minus 9 is 3 root 2. The value of 5x minus 9 is the square of 3 root 2, which is equal to 18, or the value of 5x is equal to 27, or the value of x is 27 by 5. So what is the value of 10x? 10x will therefore be equal to 54. 10x plus 9 will be equal to 63. So square root of 10x plus 9 is square root of 63, which is equal to 3 times square root of 7, which is option C. In this question, we are told that x and y are real numbers such that x square plus x minus 2y minus 1 whole square minus 4y into x plus y is equal to this. We are asked to calculate the value of x minus 2y. If you are looking at the expression that is given to us, on the left hand side we have two perfect squares, and on the right hand side we have minus 4y into x plus y. So we can bring this to the other side and it becomes equal to x square plus 4xy plus 4y square plus x minus 2y minus 1 whole square is equal to 0. Now this itself is x plus 2y whole square. So this is x plus 2y whole square plus x minus 2y minus 1 whole square is equal to 0. This is the sum of two perfect squares is equal to 0. So both of them have to be individually equal to 0. So x plus 2y will be equal to 0 and x minus 2y will be equal to 1. We are asked to calculate the value of x minus 2y. So that will be equal to 1, which is option B. In this question, we are asked to calculate the number of integer solutions for 2 times modulus of x into x square plus 1 is equal to 5x square. X square plus 1 is there on the left hand side, 5x square is there on the right hand side. So what we'll use is, we'll assume that modulus of x is equal to p. And p will be greater than or equal to 0 because modulus of x is always positive or at least non-negative. Now we know that x square is equal to modulus of x whole square is equal to p square. So the given equation is equal to 2 times p into p square plus 1 is equal to 5p square. Now one solution for this is that p is equal to 0, and if p is not equal to 0, we can cancel 1p over here and here. So this would be 2p square minus 5p plus 2 is equal to 0. This can be simplified to equal 2p square minus 4p minus p plus 2 is equal to 0. This is 2p minus 1 into p minus 2 is equal to 0. So the value of p is either equal to 1 by 2 or it is equal to 2. But what is p? P is equal to modulus of x. So the value of x is either equal to plus or minus 1 by 2, or the value of x is equal to plus or minus 2, or if p is equal to 0, the value of x is equal to 0. We are only looking for integer solutions. So we don't need to consider this case where x is plus or minus 1 by 2. So the value of x is either minus 2 or 0 or 2. In this question, we are given a cubic equation x cube plus 2r plus 1 into x square plus 4r minus 1 into x plus 2, and we are told that minus 2 is one of the roots. If minus 2 is one of the roots of this equation, x plus 2 has to be a factor. Because whenever you are told that a number, say 4 is a factor of a given polynomial, it would imply that x minus 4 has to be a factor. If 4 is a root, x minus 4 has to be a factor. Similarly, minus 2 is a root. So x minus of minus 2, which is x plus 2, has to be a factor of this given polynomial. So let us try to factorize this and take x plus 2 common. This would be of the form x cube plus 2x square plus 2r minus 1 into x square plus 4r minus 2 into x plus x plus 2. This is simply the value of this given polynomial. But over here, from these first two terms, we can take x plus 2 common. This will be x square into x plus 2. This will be plus 2r minus 1 into x plus 2, and this is plus 1 into x plus 2. So essentially this given polynomial is of the form x square plus 2r minus 1 into x plus 1 into x plus 2. This is equal to 0. We already know that x plus 2 is a factor because minus 2 is a root of the given polynomial. We are told that the other two roots are real. This would imply that the roots of this given quadratic equation are real. If the roots of any given quadratic equation, which is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, are real, it would imply that the discriminant, which is equal to b square minus 4ac, has to be greater than or equal to 0. So in this particular case, the discriminant of this given quadratic equation is 2r minus 1 whole square minus 4 times 1, which is 4. This has to be greater than or equal to 0. Or 4r square minus 4r plus 1 minus 4 or minus 3 has to be greater than or equal to 0. This is 4r square minus 6r plus 2r minus 3 has to be greater than or equal to 0. This would imply that 2r minus 3 into 2r plus 1 has to be greater than or equal to 0. So either r is less than or equal to minus 1 by 2 or r is greater than or equal to 3 by 2. We are required to calculate the smallest non-negative integer value of r. So r is greater than 3 by 2, which is 1.5. So the smallest possible value of r is 2. In this question, we are told that alpha and beta are two distinct roots of the equation 2x square minus 6x plus k. We know that if you are given a quadratic equation which is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and if you are told that the two roots of this equation are p and q, the sum of the roots p plus q will be equal to minus b by a, and the product of the roots p into q is equal to c by a. In this particular case, the sum of the roots, which is alpha plus beta, is equal to 6 by 2, which is 3, and alpha into beta is equal to k by 2. For the second equation, the roots are alpha plus beta and alpha beta. So alpha plus alpha beta is equal to minus p, and the product of the roots alpha plus beta into alpha beta is equal to p, which is the constant term. So we can get an equation. What is the value of alpha plus alpha beta? That is 3 plus k by 2 is equal to minus of 3 into k by 2, or 3 plus k by 2 is equal to minus 3k by 2, or 3 plus 2k is equal to 0, or the value of k is equal to minus 3 by 2. This is the value of k. Now what are we required to calculate? We are required to calculate the value of p. P is alpha plus beta, which is 3 into alpha beta into 3k by 2 is equal to p. That is 3 into minus 3 by 2 is equal to p whole by 2. Or the value of p is minus 9 by 4. This is 3 into minus 3 by 2 is k divided by 2. 3 into k by 2 is p. So p is minus 9 by 4. So what is the value of k minus p? K minus p will be minus 3 by 2 plus 9 by 4, which is equal to by 4, and this will be 3. So what is the value of 8 times k minus p? That will be 8 times 3 by 4, which is equal to 6. So the answer for this question is 6.
Google search Cracku free cat mock. Click on the first link. You can attempt a free mock test which was attempted by 30,000 cat aspirants in the actual exam format. After completing the test, you get detailed solutions, analysis and percentile along with your scorecard to gauge your All India performance. Click on the solution to get video solutions from our expert faculty.
In this question, we are told that there is a mixture P that was formed by removing and replacing some coffee from a coffee jar and replacing it with cocoa powder. So let us assume that this is the coffee jar. Initially, some amount of coffee is replaced with cocoa and a mixture P is formed. If the same process is repeated again, you get mixture Q. So again, from mixture P, a certain amount of coffee is replaced with cocoa powder. Let us assume that the initial volume of the coffee jar is V. The amount of coffee that is replaced with, say, cocoa is, let us assume, is equal to A. Then the amount of coffee in mixture P will be V minus A, and the amount of cocoa will be A. In mixture Q, what is the amount of coffee? We know that the amount of coffee will be V minus A divided by V whole square. This will be the fraction of coffee that is there in mixture Q. If the process is repeated a third time, the amount will be V minus, or the fraction will be V minus A divided by V whole cube, and so on. That is, for example, if you have a 1000 ml solution of clear water, of which 100 ml is replaced with milk, the amount of milk will be initial, the amount of water will be 0.9. If this process is repeated 2 times, the amount of milk will be 0.81. If this is repeated 3 times, it will be 0.729. We are essentially making it as 0.9 whole to the power n. Similarly, over here, if A amount is being replaced with cocoa powder, initially all of this V is coffee. After the first time, that is the percentage of coffee is 100%. After replacing it for the first time, the percentage of coffee will be V minus A divided by V. After replacing it for the second time, the percentage of coffee will be V minus A by V whole square, and so on. Here what we are told is that the ratio of coffee to cocoa in mixer Q is 16:9. So the ratio of coffee to cocoa is 16:9, or the fraction of coffee is 16 divided by 25, which is 16 plus 9. This is the fraction of coffee in mixer Q. This would imply that the fraction of coffee in mixer P will be 4 by 5, which is basically the square root of 16 by 25. See how this actually works. So if you assume that the initial volume of the coffee jar is say 1000 ml, the amount of coffee in mixer P will be 800, the amount of cocoa will be 200. Similarly, in mixer Q, the amount of coffee will be 640 and the amount of cocoa will be 360. How did we get 640? It is just 16 by 25 into 1000. So now the required ratio is the amount of cocoa in mixer P, which is 200, to that of mixer Q, which is 360. So the required ratio is 200 is to 360, which is equal to 5 is to 9. So the correct answer is option C. In this question, we are told that the angle between the hour sand and the minute sand is observed at 8:48. 8:48 will be something like this. This is 8:48 AM. Now the minimum duration in minutes after 8:48 AM when the angle increases by 50%. That is what we are required to calculate. Let us first calculate the angle over here between the hour sand and the minute sand at 8:48. How can we calculate it? At 8 o'clock, it will look something like this. The minute sand will be exactly vertical. The hour sand will be at exactly 8. It will be something like this. So the hour sand will be over here. This angle will be 240 degrees. Every single minute, the angle traversed by a minute hand is 6 degrees. And every single minute, the angle traversed by the hour hand is equal to half degrees. How do we know it? Because a minute hand will go the entire way from the start of 12 till the end in 1 hour. So it covers 360 degrees in 60 minutes. So every minute it will cover 6 degrees. And hour hand will traverse only from 8 to 9 or from 9 to 10. So it will traverse 1/12 of 360 degrees, that is 30 degrees in 1 hour. So every minute it will traverse 1 by 2 degrees. At 8:48, that is 48 minutes after 8, what is the angle traversed by the minute hand? This angle. That angle will be 48 into 6, which is equal to 288 degrees. What is the angle traversed by the hour hand? This angle. Initially it was 240 degrees at 8 o'clock. And in the 48 minutes, it will traverse another 48 by 2, that is 24 degrees. This is 264. So this angle over here is 288. This angle over here is 264. So this difference, this angle between both the hands will be equal to 288 minus 264, which is 24 degrees. If the angle increases by 50%, that angle becomes 36 degrees, which is equal to 1.5 into 24. Suppose it becomes 36 degrees x minutes after 8. So what is the angle traversed by the minute hand? That will be 6x. What is the angle traversed by the hour hand? That will be minus, again like earlier, initially it was 240 degrees plus x by 2. This we are told is equal to 36. We have to calculate the value of x, or 11x by 2 is equal to 240 plus 36, which is 276, or the value of x is equal to 276 into 2 by 11, which is equal to 552 by 11. So how much time has elapsed since 8:48? This will be 552 by 11 minus 48. This is equal to 552 minus 528 divided by 11, which is equal to 24 by 11 minutes. So the answer for this question is option D. In this question, we are told that Geeta sells two objects A and B at the same price. So we have A, we have B. Let the selling price of both be equal to X. On A, she makes a profit of 20%. So the cost price of A is X divided by 1 plus 20%, which is 1.2. And on B, she makes a loss of 10%. So the cost price of B is B divided by 1 minus 10%, which is 0.9. Now she increases the selling price of the objects and still sells them at an equal price such that she makes a profit of 10% on object B. So what is the new selling price of B? This is the cost price, but she's making a 10% profit on this. So it will be 1 plus 10%, which is 1.1 into X divided by 0.9. Because the selling prices are still the same, the new selling price of A also is 1.1x divided by 0.9. This is the cost price of A, this is the new selling price. So what is the profit? The profit will be 1.1x divided by 0.9, which is 11x by 9, minus the cost price, which is x divided by 1.2, which is 5 by 6x. This is equal to by 18. This is 22x minus 15x, which is equal to 7x by 18. This is the profit. So what is the profit percentage? Profit percentage is profit divided by cost price. So this is 7x by 18 divided by x divided by 1.2 is 5x by 6 into 100. This is equal to 7 into 100 divided by 15. This is equal to 140 by 3, which is equal to 46.66%. The profit percentage is closest to 47% amongst the options, so that will be the correct answer. In this question, we are told that Brishti started an 8-hour trip in a car and she saw the meter and it was a whole number which is also palindromic. And after she finished the trip, she covered the total distance traveled is 26,862, which also is palindromic. We are told that she never drove at more than 110 kilometers per hour. What does this imply? This implies that the total distance that is traveled has to be less than or equal to 110 into the time, which is 8, which is 880. So the total distance that she traveled in this trip cannot be more than 880. So what would this imply? At the start of the trip, the reading has to be, this is the reading at the end. So the start has to be greater than this. This would be 2, this is 8, this is 9, this is 5 and this is 2. Because if it is less than this, for example, if the starting the meter reading is at 25,000, it would imply that the total distance traveled is 1862, which is 1800 kilometers, greater than 1800. Because she didn't travel more than 880 kilometers, the starting reading has to be greater than or equal to 25982. We know that it is palindromic. And this number has to lie between 25982 and 26862. This would imply, first of all, that the last number has to be 2 and 2. The last number and the first number has to be 2 and 2 because it is the same. This number, if you assume is A, this number also will be A and the middle number is B. What are the values that A can take? Can A be equal to, A is either 5 or 6. Can A be equal to 5? If A is equal to 5, this will be 2, 5, B, 5, 2. Now, even if the value of B is 9, this number will be 25952, which is actually less than 25982. This would imply that this number cannot be equal to 5. Because if you assume that this is 25952, the total distance traveled will be actually 910 kilometers. It will be greater than 880 kilometers. So it cannot be 5. So this has to be 6. So what we can infer is that this number is 6, this number is 6. What are the values B can take? Now there is no condition on B. Why is there no condition on B? Because this number lies between 26062 and 26862. Any of the number, any of the values that B takes, either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, probably not 8, any of them will satisfy this condition. The total distance will be less than or equal to 880 kilometers. So now if you are trying to maximize the speed, which is what we are required to do, you want the distance covered to be as high as possible. So we'll make B to be equal to 0. So essentially what we are saying is that the meter reading at the start is 26062. The total distance traveled is therefore 26862 minus 26062, which is 800 kilometers. And therefore the speed is 100 kilometers per hour, which is option C. In this question, we are told that the average marks of 4 girls and 6 boys is 24. Every girl got the same marks. Every boy also got the same marks. So let the number of marks received by every girl be equal to G. Number of marks received by every boy be equal to B. So the total marks received by 4 girls plus 6 boys will be equal to 240. Because the average of this 4 plus 6, that is 10 students, is 24. So the total marks is 24 into 10, which is 240. What we are told is that the marks of any girl, G, is at most double of any boy. So G is less than or equal to 2B. And it is greater than or equal to the marks of received by any boy. So what we are essentially told is that G lies between B and 2B. What we are required to calculate is the number of distinct possible integer values for the marks received by 2 girls and 6 boys. 2G plus 6B essentially is equal to 4G plus 6B minus 2G. That is the value of 2G plus 6B. 4G plus 6B is equal to 240. So what we are required to calculate is the number of integer values that this can take. So clearly, if we can get an idea about the number of integer values that 2G can take, getting this answer will be easy. We are required to essentially calculate the bounds of 2G. Now, because G lies between B and 2B, we know that 6B will be greater than or equal to 3G. And we also know that 6B is less than or equal to 6G. Why are we saying this? Because 4G plus 6B because 6B is greater than or equal to 3G, 4G plus 6B will be greater than or equal to 7G. And because 6B is less than or equal to 6G, 4G plus 6B will be less than or equal to 10G. Essentially, this 4G plus 6B will be greater than 7G, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to 10G. This is equal to 240. So G is greater than or equal to 24 from this side of the inequality, and 7G is less than or equal to 240, or the value of G is less than or equal to 240 by 7. So we got the bounds for G, but we need the bounds for 2G. So 2G is greater than or equal to 48, and 2G is less than or equal to 480 by 7. What is the value of 480 by 7? 490 by 7 is 70. 480 by 7 will be 68 4 by 7. Because 68 into 7 will be equal to 476 plus 4 by 7. So 2G will lie between 48 and 68 4 by 7. So 240 minus 2G will lie between 192 on the higher side, and the lower side will be 240 minus 68 4 by 7, which is equal to 171 3 by 7. So this number 240 minus 2G is greater than or equal to 171 3 by 7 and less than or equal to 192. We are only looking for distinct integer values. So the distinct integer values it can take is 172 or 173 or ... till 192. And how many such values exist? There are 21 such integer values. So the answer for this question is option A. In this question, we are told that the salary of 3 friends, Sita, Geeta and Meeta, were initially in the ratio of 5:6:7. So this is Sita, this is Geeta, and this is Meeta. The ratio is 5:6:7. So let us assume that the initial salary of Sita is 5x. So that of Geeta is 6x and Meeta is 7x. They get a salary hike of 20%, 25% and 20%. So the new salary of Sita is 5x into 1 plus 20%, which is 6x. New salary of Geeta is 6x into 1 plus 25%, which is 7.5x. And new salary of Meeta is 7x into 1 plus 20%, which is 8.4x. Now, Sita and Meeta get hikes of 40% and 25%. So what is the new salary of Sita? It is 6x into 1 plus 40%, which is 8.4x. And 8.4x into 1 plus 20%, which is 1.25, which will be 10.5x. We are told that the salary of Geeta is the mean of the salary of the 3 friends. So basically what we are told is Geeta is equal to S plus G plus M divided by 3, or 3G is equal to S plus G plus M, or the value of G is equal to S plus M divided by 2, which is equal to 8.4x plus 10.5x divided by 2, which is equal to 18.9x divided by 2. This is equal to 9.45x. This is the salary of Geeta. So how much salary hike did she get? Her salary before the start of the year was 7.5x. After it, it was 9.45x. So the increase is 9.45x minus 7.5x, which is 1.95x, divided by 7.5x into 100, which is equal to 195 divided by 7.5, which is equal to 390 divided by 15, which is equal to 26%. So the salary hike is option C, which is 26%. In this question, we are told that Arvind travels from town A to town B and Surbhi travels from town B to town A. So we have A and B over here. This is A and this is B. Arvind is traveling from A to B and Surbhi is traveling from B to A. After they meet, let us assume that they meet somewhere over here. Arvind takes 6 hours to reach B and Surbhi takes 24 hours to reach A. Now we know the formula to calculate the ratio for the speed of Arvind to the speed of Surbhi. What is that formula? That will be square root of the inverse of the times taken by them. What is the time taken by Surbhi? It is 24. What is the time taken by Arvind? It is 6. So the ratio of their speeds is 2. We are given that the speed of Arvind is 54 km per hour. So if the speed of Arvind is 54 km per hour, the speed of Surbhi is 27 km per hour. If you assume that their meeting point is C, this distance therefore will be 6 into 54. What is 6 into 54? It is 324. And this distance will be 24 into 27. What is 24 into 27? It is 648. So the total distance between A and B is 648 plus 324, which is 972 kilometers. So the answer for this question is 972. If you are wondering how we got the square root of the inverse ratio of the times, if you assume that the speed of Arvind is say SA and the speed of Surbhi is say SB, let us assume that initially the time taken by them is T to meet. That is, the distance between A and C will be SA into T. And the distance between C and B will be SB into T. We know that the time taken by Arvind to go from C to B is 6 hours. That is, SB into T divided by SA is 6. We know that the time taken by Surbhi to go from C to A is 24 hours. So SA into T divided by SB is 24. If you just divide one by the other, you are going to get that SA square divided by SB square is equal to 24 by 6, which is 4. Or the required ratio is square root of this, which is 2. If you know the formula already, just take the inverse of the square root of the ratio of the times. So if Surbhi has taken 24 hours and Arvind has taken 6 hours, the ratio of the speed of Arvind to Surbhi is square root of 24 by 6, which will be 2. Anyway, the answer for this question is 972 kilometers.
We at Cracku provide all the previous year CAT papers along with many other MBA examinations such as XAT, SNAP, MAT, CMAT, TIS and PGDBA in the actual exam format. You can attempt them as a test and get a detailed analysis of your performance or download them as PDFs.
In this question, we are told that Anil invests 22,000 for 6 years in a certain income at a rate of interest of 4% per annum compounded half yearly. So what is the total amount that he will get? The total amount he will get will be 22,000, which is the principal, into 1.02 to the power 12. Why is it the case? Because this is compounded half yearly. If an interest is compounded yearly, the amount will be principal into 1 plus rate of interest divided by 100 whole to the power n. If it is compounded semi-annually, that is, if it is compounded twice every year, the amount will be principal into 1 plus r by 2 to the divided by 100 to the power 2n. So we basically divide the rate of interest by 2 and we multiply the time period with 2. So in this particular case, this will be 12 time periods. The rate of interest effectively for every time period is 2%. This is the same as the amount that Sunil invests for 5 years. So let us assume that Sunil invests amount P. What is the amount at the end of 5 years? It will be into 1.02 to the power 10. Because the rate of interest is the same, the time period is now 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, this is the amount he will receive. He invests this in a simple interest for 10%. for 1 year. So again you multiply this with 1.1. Both of them have to be the same. Using this equation we can calculate the value of P. So you can cancel this. This will be 1.02 whole square. 1.02 whole square will be 1.0404. 22,000 divided by 1.1 is 20,000. So the answer is 20,000 into 1.0404, which is equal to 20,808. This is the amount that Sunil invested at the start. So the answer for this question is 20808. In this question, we are told that the amount of work done by Amal, Sunil and Kamal is in a harmonic progression. We are told that Kamal takes twice as much time as Amal to do the same amount of job. So essentially we are told that the efficiency of Kamal, who is taking twice as much time, is half that of Amal. So if Kamal does X units of work in a particular day, Amal will be doing 2X units of work because Amal finishes the job in half the time. So he is doing twice the same amount of work as Kamal in the same time. Because these three are in a harmonic progression, we can calculate the amount of work done by Sunil. How can we do that? If A and B are two numbers, their harmonic mean, that is the middle term, will be equal to 2AB divided by A plus B. This is the harmonic mean of A and B. What is the harmonic mean of 2x and x? The harmonic mean of 2x and x will be 2 times 2x into x divided by 2x plus x, which is 3x. This is equal to 4x by 3. So the amount of work done by Sunil in the same time will be 4x by 3. What we are told is that if Amal works for 4 days, Sunil works for 9 days, then Kamal has to work for 16 days to finish the job. Or the total work that needs to be done is equal to 4 into 2x, which is 8x, plus 9 into 4x by 3, which is equal to 12x, plus 16 into x, which is 16x. This is equal to 36x. So how many days will Sunil alone take to finish the job? That will be 36x divided by 4x by 3, which is equal to 27 days. So the answer for this question is 27. In this question, we are given a circle which is x square plus y square plus 4x minus 6y minus 3 is equal to 0. So this you can complete a perfect square. This is x square plus 4x plus y square minus 6y is equal to 3. You add a 4 here and a 4 here. You add a 9 here and a 9 here. So this is x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square is equal to 16. So this is basically a circle. The center of the circle is minus 2, 3 and the radius of the circle is square root of 16, which is equal to 4. Now suppose there is a point over here such that if you are drawing two tangents from this point to the circle, the angle between the tangents is 60 degrees. How can we calculate the locus of that point? What exactly is locus? Locus basically means what is the equation that this point has to satisfy. Let us assume that this is a point A and let the coordinates of x and y, let the coordinates of A be x and y. So what is the property that x and y satisfy? If you know the property that x and y satisfies, that is called the locus. Now to be honest, right now we don't know whether this will be a circle, whether this will be another curve, this will be a straight line, we don't know. Or whether this will be a single point, that also we don't know. We just know that what locus means is what is the equation that this point x comma y has to satisfy. Now we know that the information we know is that this is 60 degrees. And if you join the center to the point of intersection of the tangent and the circle, this will be 90 degrees. The radius of the circle we know is 4 units. So this is 4. If the center is O, if you join A to O, because the tangents are intersecting at 60 degrees, this angle over here will be half of it, which is 30 degrees. Therefore, the length of AO will be 8 units. Why is that the case? Because if you are assuming that this is a right angle triangle ABO, one side is 4 units, one angle is 30 degrees, the other one is a right angle. This would imply that BO divided by AO is equal to sine 30 degrees, which is equal to 1 by 2. Using this, we can calculate that AO is equal to 8 units. Now we can get an equation that x comma y has to satisfy, because this point x comma y has to be at a distance of 8 units from this point O, which is minus 2 comma 3. So x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square has to be equal to 8 square, which is 64. This is the equation that x and y has to satisfy, or to put it in another way, this is the locus of the point A. Now what are we required to calculate? What is the point at which this locus touches the line x is equal to 6? Basically we are saying what is the point of intersection of this curve, which is basically a circle, and the line x is equal to 6. When x is equal to 6, 6 plus 2 whole square is 8 square. So 8 square plus y minus 3 whole square is equal to 64. Or y minus 3 whole square will be 0, or y will be equal to 3. So the point of intersection is 6 comma 3, which is option B. In this question, we are told that there is a quadrilateral ABCD which is inscribed in a circle. So it is a circular quadrilateral. It will look something like this. This is the circle. Let us assume that this is the quadrilateral. This is AB, and this is CD. This is BC, and this is A, B, C, and D, and BD and AC intersect at E. So this is BD, and this is AD. This is E. AB is to CD is given, that is 2 is to 1. So let us assume that this is 2x and this is x. Similarly, BC is to AD is given, this is 5 is to 4. So let this be 5y, let this be 4y. Now we can see a couple of similar triangles. One similar triangle is AED is similar to BAC. Another similar triangle is ABE is similar to DEC. I'll explain why these two are similar. Then you can infer the same for the second pair also. If you're looking at AED and BEC, this angle is the same as this angle because both of them are the angle subtended by the chord AB at the circumference. So both of them are the same. Similarly, both these also will be the same because this is the angle subtended by the chord CD at the circumference. And the third angle will obviously be the same. This also is the same. So if you assume that the length of AE is P, what can we infer about the length of B? We are looking at AED and BEC. So AE divided by BE is equal to 4y divided by 5y, which is equal to 4 by 5, or the length of BE will be equal to 1.25 p. So this is equal to 1.25 p. Similarly, if you assume that the length of ED is q, the length of CE is 1.25 q. What are we required to calculate? We are required to calculate the ratio of AE is to CE. That is, we are required to calculate the ratio of P divided by 1.25 q. So we need to calculate the ratio of P and Q. For that, we will use the other set of similar triangles, which is ABE and CED. Because both of them are similar, the ratio of AB divided by CD will be the same as the ratio of P, which is AE. AE is opposite this angle, and in this will be this, which will be AE divided by DE. This is equal to 2:1. What is AB by CD? That is 2:1. So AE divided by DE has to be 2:1. AE is equal to P, DE is equal to Q. So P by Q is equal to 2:1, or P is equal to 2Q. Once you know that P is equal to 2Q, you can figure out the ratio of AE is to CE. AE will be P, which is 2Q. CE is 1.25Q. So the required ratio is 2:1.25, which is equal to 8 by 5. So the answer for this question is option C. Just to reiterate, if you draw a quadrilateral like this, this is ABCD, which is a cyclical quadrilateral. This is A, B, C, and D. We have the diagonals which intersect at a point E. This is E. First, because you know that this is 2x, this is x, this is 5y, this is 4y. First, using one set of similar triangles, you will calculate that if this is P, this will be 1.25P, because AED is similar to BEC, and if this is Q, this will be 1.25Q, because that ratio of the sides of these two triangles is 5:4. Using another set of similar triangles, you will calculate that P by Q will be equal to 2:1. Here we are using the similar triangles AEB is similar to CAD. So P by Q is 2:1. So the required ratio is P divided by 1.25Q. P is 2Q. So this is 8:5. So the answer for this question is option C. In this question, we are told that in a right angle triangle ABC, the altitude AB is 5 centimeters, the base BC is 12 centimeters. So let us assume that this is how the right angle triangle is. This is A, B, and C. This is A, B, and C. AB is 5 centimeters, BC is 12 centimeters. P and Q are points on BC such that the areas of ABP, so let us assume that this is on BC, right? So wait, this is ABP, ABQ, and ABC are in an arithmetic progression. So this is P, this is Q. If the area of triangle ABC is 1.5 times that area of triangle ABP, find the length of PQ in centimeters. What is the area of triangle ABC? The area of triangle ABC is half into 5 into 12, which is equal to 30 centimeters square. So the area of triangle ABP will be 30 divided by 1.5, which is 20 centimeters square. So the area of ABP is 20 centimeters square. So what is the length of BP? If you assume that this is x, half into 5 into x is equal to 20, or the value of x is 8 centimeters. So this will be 8 centimeters. This overall is 12 centimeters. What is the area of ABQ? Because we know that ABP is 20 centimeters square, ABC is 30 centimeters square, and if ABP, ABQ, and ABC are in arithmetic progression, the area of ABQ will have to be 25 centimeters square. So half into BQ into AB, which is 5 centimeters, is equal to 25, or the value of BQ will be equal to 10 centimeters. So this over here is 10 centimeters. This is 8 centimeters. So the length of PQ will be equal to 2 centimeters. So the answer for this question is 2. In this question, we are told that there are some positive distinct real numbers x, y, and z. We are told that the arithmetic mean of 1 by square root of x plus z and 1 by square root of x plus y is equal to 1 by square root of y plus z. What this would imply is that 1 by square root of x plus square root of z plus 1 by square root of x plus square root of y is equal to 2 by square root of y plus square root of z. Now we are required to calculate the relationship between x, y, and z. If you are simplifying the left hand side, this is equal to square root of x plus square root of y plus square root of x plus square root of z divided by square root of x plus square root of z into square root of x plus square root of y is equal to 2 by square root of y plus square root of z. This seems very complicated, which involves a lot of square roots, but if you just cross multiply and simplify, you will get a fairly simple equation. How do we get that? We just cross multiply. This is 2 times square root of x plus square root of y plus square root of z into square root of y plus square root of z. What is the value of it? That will be equal to 2 times square root of xy plus 2 times square root of xz plus y plus square root of yz plus square root of yz plus z. What is this? This is just 2 times square root of x plus square root of y plus square root of z into square root of y plus square root of z. This has to equal 2 times square root of x plus z into square root of x plus square root of y. That is equal to 2 times x plus square root of xz plus square root of xy plus square root of yz. Now you will notice that on the left hand side we have 2 times square root of xy, we will cancel this. On the left hand side we have 2 times square root of xz, we will cancel this. We also have square root of yz 2 times, so we will cancel this. So what is the equation we have? We have the equation y plus z is equal to 2 times x. What does this imply? It implies that y, x and z are in an arithmetic progression, which is option B. In this question, we are asked to calculate the number of natural numbers up to 1000 with non-repeating digits. If you are looking at single digit natural numbers, all of them will have unique digits because there is only one digit in them, and those numbers are from 1 to 9, and so we will have 9 of them. Suppose we are looking at double digit natural numbers, that is the numbers from 10 to 99. It will have 2 digits. The first digit can be any number from 1 to 9. It cannot be 0. So this can be represented in 9 ways. The second digit can be any of the numbers including 0, which is not the first number. So this can be another 9. So the total is 81. If you are looking at 3 digit natural numbers, you will have 3 digits. The first digit can be again any number which is not equal to 0 from 1 to 9. So it can be selected in 9 ways. The second digit can be 0, but we have to ignore the first digit. So it can be selected in 9 ways. The third digit cannot be the first digit and the second digit, so it can be any one of the remaining 8 digits. This is 9 into 9 into 8, which is 648. So the total number of natural numbers which are less than 1000 with non-unique digits is 648 plus 81 plus 9, which is equal to 738. So the answer for this question is option C.
Google search Cracku CAT formulas PDF. Click on the first link. You will get a list of topics for CAT. Click on one of the topics. Download the PDF to get a list of formulas for the topic.
In this question, we are told that there is a lab experiment where the number of organisms are measured every day at 8 AM. On the first day, there were 2 organisms. On the second day, we have 3 more than twice that number. Twice that number is 4, 3 more than that is 7. On the next day, we have 3 more than twice that number. Twice that number is 14, 3 more than that is 17. The next day we will have 3 more than twice the number, so that will be 37, and so on. Let us assume that on the nth day the number of organisms is Tn. We need to calculate a formula for Tn. To calculate a formula for Tn, this is an arithmetic or geometric progression where there is a common ratio between terms and a number is added to it. This kind of a series is called an arithmetic geometric progression. So let us assume that S is the sum of all the terms till Tn. That is, S is 2 plus 7 plus 17 plus 37 plus ... till Tn. Although we don't need to calculate the sum, just assuming that this is S makes things very easy. Why does it make easy? Because you can also write S as 2 plus 7 plus 17 plus ... plus Tn minus 1 plus Tn. We have just shifted each of the term 1 to the right. Now if you subtract the first equation from the second equation, the left hand side will be 0. S minus S is 0. The right hand side is 2 plus 7 minus 2 is 5. Plus 17 minus 7 is 10, plus 37 minus 17 is 20, plus ... plus this will be, you can see that this is a geometric progression where the first term is 5 and the common ratio is 2. So this is into 5 into 2 to the power n minus 2 plus Tn. Sorry, this will be minus Tn. Or the value of Tn, which is the nth term, is equal to 2 plus, you take 5 common, and it will be 1 plus 2 plus ... plus 2 to the power n minus 2. This is a geometric progression. The sum of this geometric progression will be 2 to the power n minus 1 minus 1. So Tn is equal to 2 plus 5 into 2 to the power n minus 1 minus 5, which is equal to 5 into 2 to the power n minus 1 minus 3. You can substitute the value of n to be equal to 1. If n is 1, this will be equal to 2, which satisfies. If n is equal to 2, 5 into 2 minus 3 will be 7. If n is 3, it will be 5 into 2 square, that is 4. So that is 20 minus 3, which is 17. So you can see that the pattern is actually matching. Now for what value of n will this cross 1 million? So we want 5 into 2 to the power n minus 1 minus 3 to be greater than 1 million for the first time. This is 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 1 million. You can put this side. So basically we want 2 to the power n minus 1 to cross 2 lakhs 0.6 for the first time. What is the value of n minus 1? We know that 2 to the power 10 is equal to 1024. 2 to the power 7 is equal to 128. So you can infer that 2 to the power 17 will be something like 1.2 or 1.3 lakhs. So 2 to the power 18 for the first time will be greater than 2 lakhs. So the value of n minus 1 will be 18 for the first time, or the value of n has to be 19. So the answer for this question is 19. In this question, we are told that a, b, m and n are natural numbers such that a is greater than 1, b is greater than 1, and a to the power m into b to the power n is 144 to the power 145. We are asked to calculate the largest possible value of n minus m. What is 144? 144 is 16 into 9, which is 2 to the power 4 into 3 square. This is the value of 144. So 144 to the power 145 is equal to 2 to the power 580 into 3 to the power 290. So a to the power m into b to the power n is equal to 2 to the power 580 into 3 to the power 290. We are asked to maximize the value of n minus m. So we want the maximum value of n and we want the minimum value of m. What is the maximum value of n? The maximum value of n is 580. This will happen when b is 2. And what is the minimum value of m? The minimum value of m will be equal to 1, and this will happen when a is equal to 3 to the power 290. Therefore, the maximum value of n minus m will be 580 minus 1, which is equal to 579. In this particular case, what we are saying is a to the power m into b to the power n will be 3 to the power 290, which is the value of a, whole to the power 1 into 2 to the power 580. This is the value of a, this is the value of b, this will be the value of n, this will be the value of m. So the maximum value of n minus m will be 579, which is option D. In this question, we are asked to calculate any non-zero numbers x and y such that y is not equal to 3 and x by y is less than x plus 3 divided by y minus 3. We are required to calculate what condition is satisfied if this is the case. In this kind of question, we don't cross multiply, because if you're told that x by y is less than x plus 3 divided by y minus 3, why don't we just cross multiply? We won't cross multiply because we don't know the sign of y. Is y greater than 0 or is y less than 0? We don't know that. Similarly, we don't know the sign of y minus 3. So if you are multiplying both the sides of the inequality with a negative number, the sign of the inequality will change. That is, if you are told that x is greater than y, if you are multiplying both sides with minus 1, minus x will be less than minus y. So here we don't know the sign of y and y minus 3, so we can't cross multiply. But what we can do is, we can bring it to the other side of the inequality. So we have x by y minus x plus 3 divided by y minus 3 to be less than 0. Now if you take the denominator, common denominator as y into y minus 3, this will be xy minus 3x minus xy minus 3y is less than 0. Or essentially what we have is minus of 3 times x plus y divided by y into y minus 3 is less than 0. Now we can multiply both sides with minus 1. Like we discussed earlier, if you are multiplying both sides with minus 1, the sign of the inequality will change. So here 3 times x plus y will be greater than 0. Now divide both sides with 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is a positive number, so the sign of the inequality will not change. So essentially what we have is that x plus y divided by y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. Now you can multiply the numerator, the left hand side and the right hand side with y into y minus 3 whole square. Y into y minus 3 whole square is greater than 0. So essentially what we have is that x plus y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. This is the inequality that we have based on this inequality. Just by simplifying it and removing the denominators, we are going to get this inequality. So let us draw a number line. This is when y is equal to 0. This is when y is equal to 3. Let me actually clean this up so that we have space. What we essentially have is x plus y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. Now if you are drawing the number line on y, this is when y is equal to 0. This is when y is equal to 3. When y is less than 0 over here, y into y minus 3 will be positive. When y lies between 0 and 3, y into y minus 3 is less than 0. When y is greater than 3, y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. We want x plus y into y minus 3 to be greater than 0. Over here, y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. So we want x plus y to be greater than 0. Or we want y to be greater than minus 6. Here, y into y minus 3 is less than 0. So we want x plus y to be less than 0. Therefore, y has to be less than minus 6. Here again, y into y minus 3 is greater than 0. So x plus y has to be greater than 0. Or y has to be greater than minus 6. But if you're looking at the options, x by y is less than y by x is immaterial. We can't really say anything about x by y. So this is not the answer. If y is less than 0, that is in this segment, minus x is less than y. This is actually true. This is the same as y is greater than minus 6. If y is greater than 10, that is somewhere over here, minus x is greater than y. Over here, minus x is actually less than y, and this is true when y is greater than 3. So this is actually false. If x is less than 0, minus x is less than y. Again, we can't say anything about the value of x. We can clearly say something about the value of y. So essentially, the only option that is correct is option B. In this question, we are told that for any natural number m, n and k divides both m plus 2n and 3m plus 4n. Then k must be a common divisor of. Let us assume that m plus 2n is equal to some natural number p into k. And let 3m plus 4n be equal to another natural number q into k. Now if you multiply this one with 2, we are going to get 2m plus 4n is equal to 2pk. Or the value of m is equal to q minus 2p into k. Q minus 2p will be some other natural number. This would imply that k has to be a divisor of m. Let us try to calculate the value of n. If you are looking at the value of n, let us multiply this one with 3. So we are going to get 3m plus 6n is equal to 3pk, and this one is 3m plus 4n is equal to qk. If you subtract one from the other, we are going to get 2n is equal to 3p minus q into k. So again, we can say that k is also a divisor of 2n. We can't say that k is a divisor of n, but we know that k will divide 2n. So we can say for sure that k has to be a common divisor of both m and 2n, which is option C. In this question, we are asked to calculate the sum of all the values of x which satisfy the equation 2 to the power 4x square minus 2 to the power x square plus x plus 16 plus 2 to the power 2x plus 30 is equal to 0. If you are looking at it, you should understand that we have to factorize this. Why should we factorize this? Because if you are looking at the middle term is 2 to the power 2x square plus x plus 16. This is 2x plus 30, which is basically 2 times x plus 15. And this is 4x square. 4x square is 2 times 2x square. So what we'll do is we'll essentially write this as 2 to the power 4x square minus 2 times 2 to the power 2x square into 2 to the power x plus 15. This is basically just the middle term. We are just trying to separate it so that we can factorize it. Plus 2 to the power 2x plus 30. This is equal to 0. 2 to the power 4x square is basically 2 to the power 2x square into 2 to the power 2x square. That is the value of 2 to the power 4x square minus 2 to the power 2x square into 2 to the power x plus 15 minus 2 to the power 2x square into 2 to the power x plus 15. We have just written this number twice because we have 2 times that. Notice that this is x plus 16, which we have written, we have brought in 1 2 out of the exponent, plus 2 to the power 2x plus 30. This is equal to 0. Now if you are taking 2 to the power 2x square common from the first two terms, this is 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15 minus 2 to the power x plus 15 into 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15. This is equal to 0. Why is that the case? Because the last term 2 to the power 2x plus 30 we can write as 2 to the power x plus 15 into 2 to the power x plus 15. This is equal to 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15 into 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15 is equal to 0. This is basically 2 to the power 2x square minus 2 to the power x plus 15 whole square is equal to 0. Or we want 2x square to be equal to x plus 15 because we want this to be equal to 0. So the power of the exponents has to be the same. This is a quadratic equation which we can factorize. This is 2x square minus 6x plus 5x minus 15 is equal to 0. Or this is 2x minus 5 into x minus 3 is equal to 0. So the two values of x which satisfy this given equation are either x is equal to 3 or it is equal to, this is 2x plus 5 or minus 5 by 2. So the sum of these two will be 1 by 2, which is option D. In this question, we are asked to calculate the number of positive integers which are less than 50, having exactly two distinct factors other than 1 and itself. So if you are assuming that this number is n, we are looking for all the values of n which are less than 50, which are of the form that it has a total of 4 factors. One of them is 1, one of them is n, and we have a and b over here, which are in the middle. The first thing it will tell you is that a into b has to be equal to n. Now, are a and b prime numbers? One thing we can say is that a has to be a prime number. This number over here has to be a prime number, because if it is a composite number, there should be some factor which lies between 1 and a. So the smallest factor other than 1 of any number will be a prime number. So a over here is definitely a prime number. What about b? Now b has to be either a square or b has to be another prime number. Let us look at both the cases. First, we are looking at the case where b is a square. So basically the number n is of the form 1, a prime number p, the square of a prime number p square, and this number will be p cube. So you will have two such numbers which are less than 50. What are those two numbers? They are 1, 2, 2 square and 2 cube. This is 8. Or 1, 3, 3 square and 3 cube, which is 27. The next number will be 1, 5, 5 square and 5 cube, which is 125, which is greater than 50. So this is not allowed. These two are allowed. In the second case, we are assuming that b is a prime number. So basically we have 1, we have a prime number p, p1 say, and we have another prime number p2, and we have n. And the value of n is one prime number p1 into another prime number p2. What are all the cases that are possible? Over here there is no easy way to do it. We have to just manually enumerate it. We will first assume that p1 is equal to 2. Then p2 will be either 3 or 5 or 7 or 11 or 13 or 17 or 19 or 23. In this case, the value of n in the first case will be 6, 10, 14, 22, 26, 34, 38 and 46. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 8 cases over here. What will happen when p1 is 3? So we have 1, we have p1 which is 3, and we are looking for another prime number p2. p2 will be either 5 or 7 or 11 or 13. Once it becomes 17, 3 into 17 will be 51, which is greater than 50. So here we are going to get 15, 21, 33 and 39. So here we have 4 cases. What will happen when p1 is 5? So we have 1, 5 and the second prime number p2 has to be 7. The next prime number is 11. 5 into 11 is 55, which is greater than 50. So this will be 35. So the value that n will take is 35. if the first prime number is 7 and the second prime number is 11, the product itself is 77, so this can be cancelled. So the total number of values is 2 over here. This is if n is of the form p cube. So we have the 4 factors as 1, p square and p cube. We have 2 such cases. Or we'll have 8 cases where the first prime number is 2 and the second prime number will be any one of them. This is 8 cases. We have 4 cases where the first prime number is 3 and the second prime number is either 5 or 7 or 11 or 13. And the last case is the first prime number is 5 and the second prime number is 7. So the total is 2 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1, which is equal to 15. This involves a lot of enumeration, but that is the only way to solve this question. In this question, we are told that log x to the base root 3 plus log of 25 to the base x divided by log of 0.008 to the base x is 16 by 3. We are asked to calculate the value of log of 3x square to the base 3. Now, let us first calculate the second term of the equation. Log of 25 to the base x divided by log of 0.008 to the base x is equal to log of 25 to the base 0.008. But what is 0.008? 0.008 is 8 divided by 1000, which is equal to 1 by 125. 125 is 5 cubed, so this is equal to 5 to the power minus 3. So this is essentially equal to log of 5 square, which is 25, to the base 5 to the power minus 3. This is equal to minus 2 by 3. So the equation that we have is equal to log of x to the base root 3 minus 2 by 3 is equal to 16 by 3. If you take it to the right hand side, this is 16 plus 2 divided by 3, which is equal to 18 by 3, which is 6. So log of x to the base root 3 is equal to 6, or x is equal to root 3 to the power 6, which is equal to 3 cube, which is 27. So what is the value of log of 3x square to the base 3? That will be log of 3 times x square, which is 27 square, which is 3 to the power 6 to the base 3, which is log of 3 to the power 7 to the base 3, which is equal to 7. So the answer for this question is 7. In this question, we are told that k is the largest integer such that x minus 1 whole square plus 2kx plus 11 has no real roots. Let us first convert this into a normal quadratic equation. A normal quadratic equation is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And a normal quadratic equation has a discriminant d, which is equal to b square minus 4ac. If d is less than 0, it has no real roots. If d is equal to 0, it has two equal roots, that is both the roots are real and equal to each other. It is basically a perfect square, which is of the form x minus a whole square is equal to 0. If d is greater than 0, it will have two distinct real roots. So converting this into a traditional equation of quadratic equation, this will be x square minus 2x plus 1 plus 2kx plus 11 is equal to 0. This is of the form x square plus x into 2k minus 2 plus 12 is equal to 0. This is the value of the coefficient of x, this is the constant term, and the coefficient of x square is 1. So we want d or the discriminant to be less than 0 because we want this to have no real roots. So 2k minus 2 whole square should be less than 4 into 12, or k minus 1 whole square should be less than 12. So k minus 1 should lie between square root of 12 and minus square root of 12, or k has to lie between square root of 12 plus 1 or 1 minus square root of 12. We are looking for the largest integer for which this is true. So the largest integer is square root of 12 will be approximately 3.5. 3.5 plus 1 is 4.5. So k has to be less than 4.5. So the largest integer for which this is true is 4. So the value of k is 4. We are required to calculate the least possible value of k by 4y plus 9y, which is equal to 4 divided by 4y plus 9y. Or we are required to calculate the least possible value of 9y plus 1 by 9y, where y is a positive real number. We will apply the arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to geometric mean. So this divided by 2 is greater than or equal to square root of 9y into 1 by y. This is square root of 9, which is 3. So 9y plus 1 by y divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 3. So 9y plus 1 by y is greater than or equal to 6. So the least possible value of this expression is 6.
Google search Cracku free cat mock. Click on the first link. You can attempt a free mock test which was attempted by 30,000 cat aspirants in the actual exam format. After completing the test, you get detailed solutions, analysis and percentile along with your scorecard to gauge your All India performance. Click on the solution to get video solutions from our expert faculty.
In this question, we are told that there are 3 pipes A, B and C. A and C are fill pipes, B is an emptying pipe. B takes 1 hour less than A to empty the tank that A takes to fill the tank. So if you assume that A takes T hours to fill the tank, B will be taking T minus 1 hours to empty the tank. If you assume that the volume of the tank is V, in 1 hour, the amount of water that is filled into the tank by A will be V by T. The amount of water emptied by B will be V by T minus 1. We are told that if A, B and C work together, they can fill the tank in 2 hours. If you assume that C fills C liters every hour, V by T minus V by T minus 1 plus C is equal to V by 2. Because in 2 hours, they fill the entire tank whose volume is V. So here we can calculate the value of C. So C is equal to V by 2 plus V by T into T minus 1. We are just simplifying this equation. The value of C will be equal to V by 2 plus V divided by T into T minus 1. That is the amount of water filled by C in 1 hour. What we are now told is that if B and C are opened and B is shut off after 1 hour, C will take another 1 hour 15 minutes to fill the tank. So what is the total time that B is open? Total time B is open is 1 hour. So that is minus V by T minus 1. What is the total time that C is open? C is open for a total of the initial first 1 hour along with B, and after that 1 hour and 15 minutes. So total it is open for 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is 9 by 4 hours. Into V by 2 plus V by T into T minus 1. This is equal to the volume of the tank. Using this equation, we can actually calculate the value of T. That is what we are required to do. So if you are simplifying this, minus V by T minus 1 plus 9V by 8 plus 9V by 4 times T into T minus 1 is equal to V, or this is equal to V by 8. You can cancel V from the entire equation. So the equation that you have is 9 by 4 into T minus 1 plus 1 by 8 is equal to 1 by T minus 1. You can multiply the entire equation with 8. So this will be 18 divided by T into T minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 8 by T minus 1. Or we can now multiply the entire equation with T into T minus 1. So we are going to get 18 plus T square minus T is equal to 80. Or T square minus 9T plus 18 is equal to 0. This can be factorized. The value of T is either 6 or T is equal to 3. We are told that the time taken by A to fill the empty tank is less than 5. So it cannot be 6. So the value of T is 3. So how much time is taken by C to fill an empty tank? What is the amount of water that is filled by C in 1 hour? That is V by 2 plus V by T into T minus 1. The value of T is 3. So the amount of water filled is V by 2 plus V by 2 into 3, which is V by 6. V by 2 plus V by 6 is 2V by 3. This is the amount of water filled by C in 1 hour. So the time it takes to fill the entire tank is 3 by 2 hours, which is equal to 90 minutes, which is option A. In this question, we are told that Anil borrows 2 lakhs at a rate of interest of 8% per annum, but this is compounded half yearly. So if you have an amount principal, which is P, and the rate of interest is R% compounded annually, the total amount will be P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power N. But if this is compounded semi-annually, we had to divide the rate of interest by 2 and we have to multiply the time period with 2. So the total amount will be P into 1 plus R by 2 divided by 100 whole to the power 2n. In this particular case, the principal is 2 lakhs. So this is 2 lakhs into 1.04 whole square. This is the total amount that he will receive at the end of 1 year. This is the amount that he should repay at the end of 1 year. This, if you calculate, will be equal to 2 lakhs into 1.0816. This is equal to 2 lakhs 16,320. Out of this, he repays 10,320. So the amount that is outstanding, this will be 000, this is 60. The amount outstanding is 2 lakhs and 6,000. The rate of interest continues to be 8% per year, compounded semi-annually, and there are 2 more years left because he closes this at the end of the 3rd year. After 1 year, we have calculated the amount outstanding. So now 2 years are left. So the total amount outstanding is into 1.04 whole to the power 4. This is equal to 2,40,991. This is the total amount that he repays. So what is the total amount he repays? He repays this at the end of the 3rd year, and in the middle at the end of the 2nd year, he repays 10,320. So the total amount he repays will be 2,40,991 plus 10,320, which is equal to, this is 1, 3, 1, 5 and 2. So the total amount he repaid is 2,51,311. What is the total amount that he borrowed? The total amount he borrowed is 2 lakhs. So what is the interest that he repaid? The interest he repaid is 51,311, which is option B. In this question, we are told that Ravi is driving at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour on a road. So this is Ravi. He is driving at 40 kilometers per hour. Vijay is behind him. Vijay is 54 meters behind Ravi. Let us assume that he is going at V kilometers per hour towards Ravi. Ashok is driving in the same road in the opposite direction. Ashok is going this side at the speed of 50 kilometers per hour. And the initial distance between Ashok and Ravi is 225 meters. We want the 3 of them to meet at the same point at the same time. So what should the speed of Vijay be? So at this standpoint, Ravi and Ashok are 225 meters away. So what is the time taken by them to actually meet? The time taken by them is 225 meters, which is 0.225 kilometers, divided by their relative speed, which is 40 plus 50 because they are traveling in the opposite directions, which is 90. So after this many hours, they would meet. In this many hours, you want Vijay and Ravi to also meet. What is the distance between them? It is 54 meters. So this has to equal 54, that is 0.054 kilometers, divided by what is the relative speed of Vijay and Ravi? It is V minus 40. If you solve this equation, we are going to get the value of V. 0.025 divided by 90, this will be 1 by 400. Because 0.225 into 400 is equal to 90. So the value of V minus 40 is equal to 0.054 into 400. This is equal to 0.54 into 40, which is 21.6. So the value of V is equal to 61.6 kilometers per hour. That should be the speed of Vijay, which is option C. In this question, we are told that Minu purchases sunglasses at rupees 1000. So Minu purchases sunglasses at rupees 1000. So the cost price is rupees 1000. And she sells it to Kanu at a profit of 20%. And she is selling it to Kanu at 20% profit. So that is 1200. From the standpoint of Kanu, the cost price is rupees 1200. And she sells it back to Minu at a 20% loss. And the selling price will be 0.8 into 1200, which is equal to rupees 960. This is the selling price. Now the second cost price for Minu will be 960. Finally, Minu sells the same pair of sunglasses to Tanu. Let us assume that the selling price, the second selling price is rupees X. And the total profit made by Minu from all her transactions is 500. In the two transactions, what is the total cost price? The total cost price is 1000 plus 1960, 1000 plus 960, which is 1960. and the total selling price is 1200 plus X. So 1200 plus X minus 1960 is equal to 500, or the value of X is 1260. So basically the price at which she sold it the second time is rupees 1260. The second time she bought it at 960. So the profit is equal to 300, and the profit percentage is equal to 300 divided by 960 into 100. You can simplify this. This will be equal to 31.25%, which is option C. In this question, we are told that the price of a precious stone is directly proportional to the square of its weight. Initially, a precious stone was bought which was weighing 18 units. So let us assume that the price of a stone is of the form a constant K into the square of its weight, which is W square. So when the weight is 18 units, the price of the stone will be P is equal to K into 18 square, which is 324K. Now this stone was broken into 4 parts. Let us assume that the weights of the 4 parts are A, B, C and D. This will sum up to 18. And the price of this stone will be, price of the sum of the 4 stones will be K into A square plus B square plus C square plus D square. We are not given the value of A, B, C, D, but we have been told that A, B, C and D are distinct integer weights. So all of them are integers and all of them are distinct. We are given the difference between the highest possible and lowest possible value of the total price. That is, we will have to first calculate the highest possible value of this. Then we have to calculate the lowest possible value of it and find the difference between them to get the value of K. What is the highest possible value of A square plus B square plus C square plus D square? The highest possible value will be there when all of them are as far apart from each other as possible. Essentially, the maximum should be as high as possible. So this would essentially be 15, 1, 1 and 1. But this won't exist because we are told that all of them are distinct integer weights. Here we are getting 3 ones consecutively. So to get the highest possible sum of the squares, again we will make the maximum number to be as high as possible. But the minimum 3 numbers will be 1, 2 and 3, which will total up to 6. So the fourth number has to be 12 because the total weight is 18. And the sum of A square plus B square plus C square plus D square will be K into 12 square plus 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square, which is equal to K into 144 plus 1 plus 4 plus 9, which is equal to 158K. This is the maximum possible value of the sum of the squares. What is the minimum possible value? The minimum possible value will occur when all of them are close to each other. We should not have any number which is very high, like in this case. So all of them should be 4.5, 4.5, 4.5 and 4.5 because the total is 18 and each one of them will be 18 by 4. But again, all of them have to be integers and all of them have to be distinct. So the best way in which we can keep them as close to each other as possible is if they are 3, 4, 5 and 6. And the sum of the squares will be K into 3 square is 9 plus 4 square is 16 plus 5 square is 25 plus 6 square is 36. This is equal to 86K. This is the minimum possible value of the sum of the squares. The difference between these two is 72K. This we are told is 2,88,000, or the value of K is equal to 4,000. What is the price of the original stone? The price of the original stone is 324K. So the price of the original stone will be 324 into 4,000, which is equal to 1296000, which is option D. In this question, we are told that in a company, 20% of the employees work in manufacturing department. So let us assume that the total employees is 100. So manufacturing is 20, non-manufacturing will be 80. Let us assume that the average salary of manufacturing employees is M and average salary of non-manufacturing employees is N. So what is the total salary of all the employees? It is 20M plus 80N. This we are told is 6 times the total salary of the manufacturing employees, which is into 20M, or 20M plus 80N is equal to 120M, or 80N is equal to 100M. So the ratio of M by N is equal to 80 by 100, which is equal to 4 by 5. So the answer for this question is option B. In this question, we are told that there is a certain amount of money. When it is divided equal among n people, everyone receives 352 rupees. So the total money that is there is equal to 352n. Now out of these two people, if they receive 506 each, what is the remaining money? The remaining money is equal to 352n minus 2 times 506, which is equal to 352n minus 1012. So what is the average money received by the remaining n minus 2 people? That will be 352n minus 1012 divided by n minus 2. This we are told is less than or equal to 330. This is what we are told. So now if you cross multiply 352n minus 1012 is less than or equal to 330n minus 660. Or the value of 22n is less than or equal to 352, or the value of n is less than or equal to 16. So the maximum possible value of n is equal to 16.
We at Cracku provide all the previous year CAT papers along with many other MBA examinations such as XAT, SNAP, MAT, CMAT, TIS and PGDBA in the actual exam format. You can attempt them as a test and get a detailed analysis of your performance or download them as PDFs.
In this question, we are told that Jane bought a certain number of white t-shirts at 1000 per piece and a certain number of blue shirts at 1125 per piece. So let us assume that he bought W white shirts for 1000 rupees a piece and he bought B blue shirts at 1125 per piece. So what is the average cost per shirt? If you assume that the average cost per shirt is A, this is equal to 1000 W plus 1125 B divided by B plus W. Now he marked up the average price by 25%. So the marked price is 1.25 A and then gave a discount of 10%. So the selling price is 1.25 A into 0.9. This will be equal to 1.125 A, or simply this is 9 by 8 A. Now he sold all the t-shirts. What is the total number of t-shirts? That will be B plus W. So what is the profit that he made? This is the average selling price. This is the average cost price. So by selling one t-shirt, the average profit he makes is 0.125 A. This is the profit, which is basically equal to A by 8. So the total profit that he made will be A by 8 into B plus W, which is the total number of shirts. But we know that B plus W is the total number of shirts and the value of A is this. So the total profit that he made will be equal to 1000 W plus 1125 B divided by 8. Now let B plus W be equal to N, which is the total number of shirts that he bought, which is the total number of blue shirts plus the total number of white shirts. So this is equal to 1000 into N plus 125 B divided by 8. Why is that the case? Because 1000 W plus 1125 B can be written as 1000 W plus 1000 B plus 125 B. This is equal to 1000 N plus 125 B. This we are told is equal to 51,000. Or the value of 1000 N plus 125 B is equal to 51,000 into 8, which is 4 lakhs and 8,000. If you divide the entire equation with 1000, N is equal to 408 minus B by 8. So the maximum possible value of N, because W is greater than 0, B is greater than 0, we are told that he bought both colors of t-shirt. So B cannot be equal to 0 and we want both of them to be a natural number. This would imply that the maximum possible value of N will be equal to 407. This will happen when B is equal to 8 and W will be equal to 399. In this case, N will be 408 minus 1, which is equal to 407. That will be the answer. In this question, we are told that there is a container which has 40 liters of milk. First 4 liters is removed from the container and replaced with water. Then another 4 liters is replaced, liquid is replaced from the container with water, and so on. This continues. Now we know that initially this is 40 ml of milk. Now 4 ml is removed and replaced with water. So the percentage of milk becomes 0.9 into 100, which is 90%. Once this process is repeated 2 times, the percentage or the fraction of milk becomes 0.9 whole square. Once this is repeated 3 times, it becomes 0.9 whole cube. Basically, if you have any container and if say the percentage or the fraction of milk is say F at the start. If the total volume is V and say X amount of the liquid is removed and replaced with water, the fraction of milk becomes equal to F into V minus X divided by V, where F is the initial fraction of milk, X is the amount that is replaced with water. It is fairly simple. So over here essentially what we are saying is initially it was 100%. So initially this is 1 into, out of 40 liters we have replaced 4. So this is 40 minus 4 divided by 40. So this becomes 0.9. After the first replacement we have the fraction as 0.9, and then again the same fraction or the same constant is used, 40 minus 4 divided by 4 divided by 40. So this becomes 0.9 whole square. Essentially remember that if you have a volume, a bucket of volume V, and X is being replaced every time, then the constant is V minus X divided by V. Initially if the fraction, if it is 100% pure milk, this fraction will become equal to 1. But initially if it is not equal to 1, if it is 60% or 70%, you have to put that initially. Over here initially it is all milk, so it is 1, and this fraction V minus X divided by V is 0.9. So after the first time it is 0.9, after the second time it is 0.9 whole square, after the third time it is 0.9 whole cube, and so on. We are required to calculate the smallest number of times. We have to repeat this process so that the volume of milk in the container is less than that of water, or essentially we want this percentage to be less than 50%. When does this happen? When n is 1, it is 0.9. When n is 2, it is 0.81. When n is 3, it is 0.729. When n is 4, it is 0.6561. When n is 5, it will be approximately 0.59. When n is 6, it is approximately 0.53. When n is 7, for the first time, this will drop below 50%. When n is 7, 0.9 to the power 7, you can calculate, will be approximately 0.48. If you are wondering how you can do it easily, you would know 0.9, 0.81 and 0.729, the first 3 powers of 0.9. 0.729 whole square will be equal to 0.9 to the power 6. You can calculate 0.729 whole square, this will be approximately 0.53. Now just multiply this with 0.9, and even if you are not able to calculate it exactly, you can approximate that 53 into 9 will be approximately 480, because 50 into 9 is 450, 3 into 9 is 27, so this will be approximately 477. So using that also you can figure out that the answer will be equal to 7. In this question we are told that there is a triangle which is drawn such that the vertices of the triangle are on a circle C. So let us assume that this is how the circle is, and this is how the triangle is. One of the sides of the triangle is the diameter. Let us assume that this is A, this is B, and this is C. Now, if this is the diameter, we know that angle C has to be 90 degrees. Why is that the case? Because the angle subtended by a diameter on the circumference of a circle is always 90 degrees. So, once this is 90 degrees, we are told that the remaining 2 sides are in the ratio of A is to B. So let this be equal to A into K for some constant K. This will be B into K. Therefore, the length of the hypotenuse AB will be K into square root of A square plus B square. But we are told that the radius of the circle is R. So 2 times R, which is the diameter, is equal to K into square root of A square plus B square. So now we can actually calculate the value of K. K is equal to 2R divided by square root of A square plus B square. What is the area of this triangle? The area of the triangle is half into side AC, which is equal to AK, into side BC, which is equal to BK. So the area of the triangle is AB by 2 into k square, which is equal to AB by 2 into 4r square divided by a square plus b square. This is equal to 2ab r square divided by a square plus b square, which is option B. In this question, we are told that there is a rectangle ABCD where AB is 9 centimeters, BC is 6 centimeters. So let us assume that this is how the rectangle is. This is A, B, C, and D. AB is 9 centimeters, BC is 6 centimeters. There are 2 points on BC such that the areas of the figures ABP, APQ, and AQCD are in a geometric progression. So let us assume that this is ABP, this is APQ, and the remaining one is AQCD. This is P, this is Q. We are told that the area of the figure AQCD is 4 times the area of triangle ABP. So if you assume that the area of triangle ABP is A, the area of the quadrilateral AQCD is 4A, and because the three figures are in geometric progression, this has to be 2A. That is, the area of APQ has to be 2A, because APQ, ABP, APQ, and AQCD are in a geometric progression. If this is A and if this is 4A, the middle term has to be 2A. Once you get this idea, we are asked to calculate the ratio of BP is to PQ is to QC. What we do know is that the total area of the rectangle is 9 into 6, which is 54. So 4A plus 2A plus A, which is 7A, is equal to 54, or the value of A is equal to 54 by 7. So we can calculate the length of BP. Half into BP into 9 is equal to 54 by 7. This is 6, or the value of BP is equal to 12 by 7. So this is 12 by 7. Similarly, the length of PQ will be twice that, which is equal to 24 by 7. We know that the overall length of BC is 6 units. The length of PQ plus PB is 24 by 7 plus 12 by 7, which is equal to 36 by 7. So this will be 6 by 7. This would tell us that the required ratio of BP is to PQ is to QC will be 12 is to 24 is to 6, which is equal to 2 is to 4 is to 1. So the answer for this question is option C. In this question, we are asked to calculate the area of the quadrilateral bounded by the y-axis, the line x is equal to 5, and the lines modulus of x minus y minus modulus of x minus y, modulus of x minus y minus modulus of x minus y is equal to 2. Let us first draw the y-axis, the x-axis, and the line x is equal to 5. This is how the line x is equal to 5 looks like. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, and this is the line x is equal to 5. This point over here will be 5, 0. Now, because we are looking for the quadrilateral which is bounded by the y-axis, which is this line, the line x is equal to 5. In this equation, essentially we are looking for all the values of x which lie between 0 and 5. So over here, the value of modulus of x minus 5 will be equal to 5 minus x, because we are looking for the values of x which lie between these two lines. So the equation becomes equal to modulus of x minus y minus 5 plus x is equal to 2, or we are looking for modulus of x minus y is equal to 7 minus x. Now again, there are two cases. In the first case, y is greater than x. If y is greater than x, the value of modulus of x minus y will be equal to y minus x. So y minus x is equal to 7 minus x, or the value of y is equal to 7. This is one line. This is when x is greater than y. When y is less than x, modulus of x minus y will be x minus y. This is equal to 7 minus x, or the equation of the line is that y is equal to 2x minus 7. So let us first draw the equation of the line x is equal to y. X is equal to y will look something like this. It will go through the origin. This is x is equal to y. When the point is greater than x is equal to y, that will be y is greater than x. Here the equation of the line is y is equal to 7. So this is how y is equal to 7 looks like. this is y is equal to 7. Below this line, x is equal to y will be less than x. Here the equation of the line is y is 2x minus 7. When the value of x is 0, that is on y axis, this will be minus 7 over here, and it will look something like this. This point over here, this equation is y is equal to 2x minus 7. This equation. This is y is equal to 7. This one. Separating both of them is the line x is equal to y. Now, what are the vertices of this quadrilateral? If we can find out the vertices of this quadrilateral, we can easily calculate its area. First of all, we know that this is a trapezium because this line, that is the y-axis, is parallel to the line x is equal to 5. So, we need to calculate the vertices to answer this question faster. This line over here is y is equal to 7. So, this point over here will be 0, 7. This point over here will be 5, 7. This point over here is the intersection of y-axis and y is equal to 2x minus 7. On the y-axis, the value of x is 0. So, this will be equal to 0, minus 7. This point over here is the intersection of the line y is equal to 2x minus 7 and x is equal to 5. So, the x coordinate will be 5 and the y coordinate will be 2 into 5 minus 7, which is 10 minus 7, which is 3. In this trapezium, this side's length is 7 minus of minus 7, which is 14 units. This side's length is 7 minus 3, which is 4 units. And the distance between the parallel lines is 5 units. Therefore, the area of this trapezium is half into sum of the parallel sides, which is 14 plus 4, into the area between them, into the length of the distance between them, which is 5. This is equal to 9 into 5, which is equal to 45 square units. So, the answer for this question is 45. In this question, we are told that there are two series A1, A2, A3 dot 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 and B1, B2, B3 dot 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 dot. Both of them are in arithmetic progression and the common difference for both the series are prime numbers. We are told that A5 is equal to B9, A19 is equal to B19. We are told that B2 is equal to 0. We are required to calculate the value of A11. So let us assume that the common difference of the first one is say P1, which is a prime number. And the common difference of the second arithmetic progression is say P2, which is also a prime number. We are told that A5 is equal to B9. What is the value of A5? That will be A1 plus 4P1 is equal to B9, which is equal to B1 plus 8P2. Because the common difference for the second one is P2, the common difference for the first series is P1. We know that B2 is equal to 0. So this would imply that B1 plus P2 is equal to 0. So B1 plus 8P2 is equal to 7P2. What is the second one? We have this information that A19 plus is equal to B19. What is the value of A19? That will be A1 plus 18P1 is equal to B1 plus 18P2, which is essentially equal to 17P2. Why is that the case? Because B1 plus P2 is equal to 0. The second term of the second arithmetic progression B2 is equal to 0. Now, using these two equations, if you subtract one equation from the other, the left hand side will be 14P1. This is equal to 10P2, or the value of 7P1 is equal to 5P2. What are P1 and P2? P1 and P2 are prime numbers. The only way this equation will hold is if P1 is equal to 5 and P2 is equal to 7. Now, once you know that P1 is equal to 5 and P2 is equal to 7, we can calculate the value of B1. B1 will be equal to minus 7 because you want B1 plus P2 to be equal to 0. So, what is the value of A1 plus 4P1, which is equal to 7P2? A1 plus 4 times 5, which is 20, is equal to 7P2, which is 7 into 7, which is 49. Or A1 is equal to 29. What are we required to calculate? We are required to calculate the value of A11. A11 is equal to A1 plus 10P1. A1 is 29. 10P1 will be 50. So this is equal to 79. So the answer for this question is option B. In this question, we are given two equations. We are told that P square plus Q square minus 29 is equal to 2PQ minus 20, which also is equal to 52 minus 2PQ. We are asked to calculate the difference between the maximum and minimum possible value of P cube minus Q cube. What is the value of p cube minus q cube? This is equal to, if you factorize it, p minus q into p square plus pq plus q square. Now from the second part of the equation, we can figure out that the value of 4pq is equal to 72, or the value of p into q is equal to 18. From the first part of this equation, we can figure out that p square minus 2pq plus q square is equal to 29 minus 20, which is 9, or the value of p minus q whole square is equal to 9. So the value of p minus q is either equal to 3 or the value of p minus q is equal to minus 3. But from p square minus 2pq plus q square and from pq is equal to 18, you can actually calculate the value of p square plus pq plus q square. How can we calculate it? Because if you add p square minus 2pq plus q square plus 3 times pq, what you're essentially going to get is p square plus pq plus q square. This is equal to 9 plus, that is this one, 3 times 18. 3 times 18 is 54 plus 9 is 63. So the value of this one is 63. P square plus pq plus q square is equal to 63. P minus q is either equal to plus 3 or it is equal to minus 3. So the value of p cube minus q cube is either equal to 189, which is 3 into 63, or it is equal to minus 189. It is either minus 189 or it is 189. The difference between these two is equal to 378. So the answer for this question is option C.
Google search Cracku CAT formulas PDF. Click on the first link. You will get a list of topics for CAT. Click on one of the topics. Download the PDF to get a list of formulas for the topic.
In this question, we are given two sequences. One sequence is AN, which is 13, 19, 25, 31, 37, 43, 49, and so on. The other one, the first term is 15 and the common difference is 7. So it is 15, 22, 29, 36, 43, 50, and so on. We are required to calculate the largest 3-digit number which is common to both the sequences. In order to figure out the terms which are common to both the sequences, we have to first identify the first common term. In this case, the first common term is 43. And the common terms also form an arithmetic progression where the first term is 43 and the common difference is the least common multiple of 6 and 7. Because here the common difference is 6. Here the common difference is 7. So the common difference of the common terms will be 42. So this is 43 plus 42, which is equal to 85. The next one will be 85 plus 42, which is 127. Next will be 127 plus 42, which is 169, and so on. So we want the largest 3-digit number which is part of the common terms. So that will be 43 plus 42D. This has to be less than or equal to 999. Or 42D has to be less than or equal to 956. D therefore has to be, this is 840 is 42 into 20. Then you add another 42, you have 882. You add another 42, you have 924. You add another 42, you get 966. This is greater than 956. So the largest value of 42D will be 24. In this particular case, D will be equal to 22. And therefore the largest common term for both the sequences will be 43 plus 42D, which is 43 plus 924, which is equal to 967. So the answer for this question is 967. In this question, we are told that x is a positive real number such that x to the power 8 plus 1 by x to the power 8 is 47. We are required to calculate the value of x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 9. We know that x to the power 8 plus 1 by x to the power 8 is equal to 47. So let us add 2 to both sides, plus 2 and plus 2. So the right hand side becomes 49 and the left hand side is x to the power 8 plus 1 by x to the power 8 plus 2. We know that x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4 whole square is equal to x to the power 8 plus 1 by x to the power 8 plus 2 into x to the power 4 into 1 by x to the power 4. This is basically x to the power 8 plus 1 by x to the power 8 plus 2. So what we essentially have is that x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4 is equal to 7. Let us repeat the same thing. Let us again add plus 2 here and plus 2 here. The right hand side is 9. The left hand side is x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4 plus 2, which is actually equal to x square plus 1 by x square whole square. This is equal to x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4 plus 2. So we will get x square plus 1 by x square is equal to 3. Let us again repeat the same process. Let us again add 2 here and 2 here. This is x plus 1 by x whole square. The right hand side is equal to 5. So what we are essentially getting is x plus 1 by x is equal to square root of 5. Once we have x plus 1 by x is equal to square root of 5, we are required to calculate the value of x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 9. There are multiple ways in which you can do this. The simplest way is calculating the value of x cube plus 1 by x cube, and from that getting the value of x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 9. How can we get the value of x cube plus 1 by x cube? We can just multiply x square plus 1 by x square into x plus 1 by x. X square plus 1 by x square we have calculated is equal to 3. X plus 1 by x is equal to root 5. This expansion we are going to get x cube plus 1 by x cube plus x plus 1 by x. That is the expansion of x square plus 1 by x square into x plus 1 by x. If you are expanding it, you are going to get x cube plus 1 by x cube. X square into x is x cube. 1 by x square into 1 by x is 1 by x cube. X square into 1 by x is x. 1 by x square into x is 1 by x. This, like we have calculated already, is equal to 3 root 5. We know that x plus 1 by x is equal to root 5. So the value of x cube plus 1 by x cube will be equal to 2 root 5. Once you have x cube plus 1 by x cube, how can we calculate the value of x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 9? We'll just cube this. If you are cubing this, the right hand side will also be cubed, and that will be equal to 8, which is 2 cube, into square root of 5 whole cube, which is 5 root 5. So the right hand side is equal to 40 root 5. What is the left hand side? This will be equal to x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 9 plus 3 times x cube into 1 by x cube into x cube plus 1 by x cube. You can cancel x cube and 1 by x cube. So essentially what we have is x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 9 plus 3 times, what is the value of x cube plus 1 by x cube? X cube plus 1 by x cube we have already calculated over here. That will be equal to 2 root 5. So plus 3 into 2 root 5 is equal to 40 root 5. Or the value of x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 9 is equal to 34 root 5. So the answer for this question is option D. Just to reiterate, what we have done is, from x to the power 8 plus 1 by x to the power 8, we have calculated that x to the power 4 plus 1 by x to the power 4 will be equal to 7. From that we have calculated that x square plus 1 by x square will be equal to 3. From that we have calculated that x plus 1 by x will be equal to root 5. We have cubed this and we have calculated that x cube plus 1 by x cube is equal to 2 root 5. Now we have cubed this again, and if you are cubing this again, what are you going to get? You are going to get x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 9 plus 3 into x cube into 1 by x cube into x cube plus 1 by x cube will be equal to the cube of 2 root 5, which is equal to 40 root 5. You can cancel these two. This is equal to 2 root 5. 3 into 2 root 5 is 6 root 5. So x to the power 9 plus 1 by x to the power 9 is 40 root 5 minus 6 root 5, which is 34 root 5. In this question, we are told that n and m are two positive integers such that they are exactly 41 integers which are greater than 8 to the power m and less than 8 to the power n, which can be expressed as powers of 2. The smallest possible value of n plus m is asked to be calculated. What is 8 to the power m? 8 to the power m, if you're expressing it in powers of 2, this is equal to 2 to the power 3m. And what is 8 to the power n? In powers of 2, this is 2 to the power 3n. So you have 2 to the power 3m over here. You have 2 to the power 3n over here. And in between these two, there are 41 powers of 2. What is the next power of 2 after 2 to the power 3m? This will be 2 to the power 3m plus 1. Then you have 2 to the power 3m plus 2. And so on. And finally, you will have 2 to the power 3n minus 1. And after that, you have 2 to the power 3n. These numbers are 41. How many such numbers exist? The number will be 3n minus 3m minus 1. This basically is equal to 41. Or 3n minus 3m is equal to 42. Or the value of n minus m is equal to 14. Or n is equal to m plus 14. We are asked to calculate the smallest possible value of n plus m. If you are looking for the smallest value of n plus m, n will have to be 1 because n and m are positive integers, and if m is equal to 1, n will be equal to 15, and the value of n plus m will be equal to 16. So the smallest possible value is option D, which is 16. In this question, we are given two equations. X plus y is equal to 4 and a plus 5 into x plus b square minus 15 into y is equal to 8b. We are told that this system of equations has infinite solutions. A system of equations has infinite solutions if the coefficient of x, the ratio of the coefficients of x, and the ratio of the coefficients of y and the ratio of the constants are the same. Essentially, if you have a1x plus b1y is equal to c1, and you have another equation which is basically k times a1x plus k times b1y is equal to k times c1, we did not get any new information with the second equation. We have just multiplied the first equation with k to get the second equation. So then this system of equations has infinite solutions. Something like if you have x plus y is equal to 5 and you are given another equation which is 2x plus 2y is equal to 10. You can never solve this system of equations because both of them are essentially representing the same information. All the coefficients are multiplied by a constant of 2. In these kind of situations, the system of equations has infinite solutions. So in this particular case, the ratio of the coefficients are the same. What is the constant term? The ratio is 8b by 4 is equal to b square minus 15. This is the coefficient of y, or 2b is equal to b square minus 15, or b square minus 2b minus 15 is equal to 0. This is b minus 5 into b plus 3 is equal to 0. So the value of b is either equal to 5 or it is equal to minus 3. What is the ratio of the constants? The ratio of the constants is 8b by 4, which is equal to 2b. So the value of 2b is either equal to 10 or it is equal to minus 6. This 2b is important because that is the ratio. This would imply that a plus 5 divided by 1 or a plus 5 is equal to 10 or it is equal to minus 6. Because the ratio of the constants is 2b. So the ratio of the coefficients of x will also be equal to 2b. So a plus 5 is equal to 2b. Or the value of a is either equal to 5 or it is equal to minus 11. So basically we have two cases. In the first case, a is equal to 5, b is equal to 5. In the second case, a is equal to minus 11 and b is equal to minus 3. In the first case, the value of the product AB is 25. In the second case, the value of AB, which is the product, is equal to 33. These two are possible. So the maximum possible value of A into B is equal to 33, which is option A. In this question for a real number x, we are told that three terms, 1 by 2, log of 2x minus 9 to the base 3 divided by log 4 to the base 3, log of 2 to the power x plus 17 by 2 to the base 5 divided by log 4 to the base 5, all of them are in arithmetic progression. We are asked to calculate the common difference of the arithmetic progression. To solve this question, the first step that you need to know is the formula that log of a to the base b divided by log of c to the base b is equal to log of a to the base c. In this particular case, the three terms will be 1 by 2, comma, log of 2 to the power x minus 9 to the base 4 We have just applied this formula, and log of 2 to the power x plus 17 by 2 to the base 4. Again, we have applied the same formula. In the first case, the common base is 5. In the middle term, the common base is 3, which can be eliminated from the numerator and denominator. Now, 1 by 2 also we can write as log of 2 to the base 4. So, the three terms which are in an arithmetic progression are log of 2 to the base 4, log of 2 to the power x minus 9 to the base 4, and log of 2 to the power x plus 17 by 2 to the base 4. If these three are in an arithmetic progression, the sum of the first term and the last term will be 2 times the middle term. This would imply that log of 2 to the base 4 plus log of 2 to the power x plus 17 by 2 to the base 4 is equal to 2 times log of 2 to the power x minus 9 to the base 4. If you assume that 2 to the power x is a variable p, the right hand side will become equal to 2 times p plus 17 by 2 is equal to p minus 9 whole square. This would imply that 2p plus 17 is equal to p square minus 18p plus 81, or p square minus 20p plus 64 is equal to 0. So, p is either 4 or p is 16. But you would notice that p cannot be equal to 4. That is, if 2 to the power x is equal to 4, this logarithm will not be defined because we have 2 to the power x minus 9 as one of the terms. So, 2 to the power x should be greater than 9 for this logarithm to be defined. So, the only value of p is 16. So, the three terms, that is 2 to the power x has to be equal to 16. The three terms which are in an arithmetic progression are log 2 to the base 4, log of 2 to the power x is 16, 16 minus 9 is 7, 7 to the base 4, and log of 2 to the power x again is 16 plus 17 by 2 will be 49 by 2 to the base 4. So, the common difference is basically the sum of the middle term minus the first term, which is equal to log of 7 by 2 to the base 4. So, the correct answer is option D. In this question, we are told that n is a natural number such that 5 to the power n minus 1 is less than 3 to the power n plus 1. That is, 5 to the power n divided by 5 is less than 3 to the power n into 3. Or essentially, 5 by 3 to the power n is less than 15. What are the values that n can take? Clearly, 5 by 3 to the power n increases as n increases. When n is 1, it will be 1.67. When n is 2, it will be approximately 1.67 whole square, so approximately 2.7. When n is 4, it will be approximately 2.7 whole square, which I think will be around say 7.3 or 7.4, something like that. When n is 5, it will be 7.3 into approximately 1.7, so it will be around 12, maybe slightly more than 12. You can approximate it also. What I am essentially doing is 7.3 into 1.67 is something like 7 into 1.7, that is around 12. But this will be slightly greater than 12 because there is 7.3. Now, when n is equal to 6, 12 into 1.7 will for the first time cross 15, because 12 into 1.7 will be definitely greater than 10 into 1.7, which itself is 17. So, the maximum value that n can take is 5. So, n is either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Now, we are required to calculate the value of m such that for all values of n, 3 to the power n plus 1 is less than 2 to the power n plus m. So, let us try to keep m in one side. So, what does this look like? We want 3 to the power n into 3 divided by 2 to the power n to be less than 2 to the power m. For all values of n, this should hold true. That is, 3 by 2 to the power n into 3 should be less than 2 to the power n, 2 to the power m, when n is either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So, for all values of n, when we select this m, 2 to the power m should be greater than 3 by 2 to the power n into 3. Now, so essentially we have to look for the largest value of 3 by 2 to the power n into 3, and we have to select an m such that 2 to the power m is greater than this largest number. So, for example, if you are choosing n to be equal to 5 over here, 3 by 2 to the power 5 into 3 will be 3 to the power 6, which is 729, divided by 2 to the power 5, which is 32. You can calculate this. This will be approximately 22. This is the largest value that 3 by 2 to the power n into 3 can take when n is varying from 1 to 5. And 2 to the power m should be greater than this. So the smallest value that m can take is equal to 5, because 2 to the power 5 is 32, which is the smallest power of 2, which is greater than 22. So anyway, the smallest value that m can take is 5, such that this condition is always held true whenever n is varying from 1 to 5. So the answer for this question is 5. In this question, we are required to calculate the sum of the first two natural numbers, each of which has 15 factors, including 1 and the number itself. Before we actually answer this question, let us try to understand what is the number of factors of a particular number. If you have a number n, and if you are doing the prime factorization of n, that is, if you are writing n as p1 to the power a1 into p2 to the power a2 into p3 to the power a3 and so on into pr to the power ar, where p1, p2, p3 dot 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 till pr are prime numbers, then the number of factors of n is a1 plus 1 into a2 plus 1 into dot 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 into ar plus 1. This is the number of factors. What we are told is that this number has 15 factors. So this product is equal to 15. How can you express 15 as a product of some numbers? Either that is 1 into 15, or the other way around, it is 15 into 1, or it is 3 into 5, or 5 into 3. In the first case, if it is 1 into 15, basically what we are saying is that this is of the form a prime number p to the power 14. Even over here, it will be a prime number p to the power 14. In this case, it has two prime factors, and this will be of the form p1 square into p2 to the power 4. This also, it will be similar, it will be p1 to the power 4 into p2 square. The smallest number, which is of the form p to the power 14, is 2 to the power 14. The smallest number, which is of the form p1 square into p2 to the power 4, is 2 square into 3 to the power 4. We can also have it another way around. We can have it as 3 square into 2 to the power 4. These are basically the numbers that we have to consider. 2 square into 3 to the power 4 will be 4 into 3 to the power 4 is 81. This is equal to 324. 3 square into 2 to the power 4 is 9 into 16, which is 144. 2 to the power 14 is very large. We know that 2 to the power 10 is 1024. So 1024 into 2 to the power 4 is 16. This is greater than 16,000. This is very large, so we can ignore it. So the two smallest numbers which have 15 factors are 324 and 144. And their sum is equal to 468. So the answer for this question is 468. In this question, we are given a quadratic equation, which is x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. We are told that it has two real roots. Let the two roots be equal to p and q. The difference between the reciprocals of the roots is 1 by 3. So the value of 1 by p minus 1 by q is equal to 1 by 3. We are told that the sum of the reciprocals of the squares of the roots is 5 by 9. So 1 by p square plus 1 by q square is equal to 5 by 9. Looking at these two equations, if you square the first equation, what are you going to get? We are going to get 1 by p square plus 1 by q square minus 2 by pq is equal to 1 by 9. So using these two equations, we can calculate that the value of 2 by pq is equal to 4 by 9, or the value of p by q is equal to 9 by 2. In this given quadratic equation, which is x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, the sum of the roots, that is p plus q, will be equal to minus b, and the product of the roots p into q is equal to c. We already got the value of the product of the roots, so the value of c is equal to 9 by 2. What are we required to calculate? We are required to calculate the largest possible value of b plus c. So what we are required to calculate is the largest value of pq minus p plus q. Because p plus q is equal to minus b. So b plus c is minus of the sum of the roots plus product of the roots, that is pq minus p plus q. We know p plus q, that is 9 by 2. So if we can get a bound on the value of p plus q, the question can be answered. So if you're looking at this equation, we have 1 by p square plus 1 by q square. So let us try to find out the value of p square plus q square. To that we'll add plus 2pq. So we'll get p plus q whole square and we'll get a bound on p plus q. From this equation we are going to get that p square plus q square divided by p square q square is equal to 5 by 9, or p square plus q square is equal to 5 by 9 into pq whole square, which is into 9 by 2 into 9 by 2. You can cancel this 2. This is equal to 45 by 4. So p square plus q square plus 2pq, which will be p plus q whole square, will be equal to 45 by 4 plus 2 times 9 by 2, or this is equal to 9. This is equal to 81 by 4. So the value of p plus q, because this is p plus q whole square, which is equal to 81 by 4. So p plus q is either equal to 9 by 2 or it is equal to minus 9 by 2. We are required to calculate the maximum value of pq minus p plus q. So the maximum value will be 9 by 2 minus of minus 9 by 2, which is equal to 9 by 2 plus 9 by 2, which is equal to 9. So the answer for this question is 9.
Google search Cracku free cat mock. Click on the first link. You can attempt a free mock test which was attempted by 30,000 cat aspirants in the actual exam format. After completing the test, you get detailed solutions, analysis and percentile along with your scorecard to gauge your All India performance. Click on the solution to get video solutions from our expert faculty.
In this question, we are told that a merchant purchases cloth at the rate of rupees 100 per meter, but he receives 5 centimeters length of cloth for free whenever he is purchasing 100 centimeters of cloth. Let us assume that this guy goes to the town with rupees 100 and he purchases 1 meter. If he is purchasing 1 meter of cloth, he is getting 0.05 meters of cloth, that is 5 centimeters for free. So overall, he will have 1.05 meters. Now he comes back home and he is selling this 1.05 meters. But what is he selling at? The rate at which he is selling is rupees 110 per meter. So when he is selling at rupees 110 per meter. But he is not selling by giving 1 meter. He is cheating his customers and he is only giving 95 centimeters. So basically the cost price for the customer, or basically the selling price for this guy, for the shopkeeper, is rupees 110 for 0.95 meters. That is, when he is selling 0.95 meters, he is actually collecting 110 rupees. So if he is selling 1 meter, what is the selling price? The selling price of actually selling 1 meter is rupees 110 divided by 0.95. Now the merchant provides a discount of 5%. If this is the mark price, the selling price will be mark price into 1 minus discount. So that is equal to 110 divided by 0.95 into 95%, because he is providing a discount of 5%. This is equal to rupees 110. So the actual selling price is 110 per meter. So when he is selling 1 meter, he is collecting rupees 110. How much cloth does he have? He has 1.05 meters. So what is the total selling price? Total selling price will be 110 into 1.05. Total cost price is 100. 110 into 1.05, if you are calculating, will be 115.5 rupees. Therefore, the profit percentage will be 15.5%, which is option C. In this question, we are told that Rahul, Rakshita and Gurmeet, they were working together on a project. Let us assume that the number of units of work that Rahul does in 1 day is capital A. The amount of work that Rakshita does in 1 day, let it be equal to B. And the amount of work done by Gurmeet in 1 day be equal to C. So when all three of them are working together, the amount of work that is done by them is A plus B plus C. And it is told that when all of them are working together, it takes more than 7 days to finish the job. So the total work that needs to be done is greater than what they will do in 7 days, which is 7 times A plus B plus C. Now, if only Rahul and Gurmeet are working, the total work that is done in a day is A plus C. And we are told that they take less than 15 days to finish the job. So total work that will be done, that needs to be done, is less than 15 times A plus C. Now, they finish the job when all of them work together for 6 days. So the total work that needs to be done is equal to 6 times A plus B plus C plus when Rakshita worked alone, 3 more days were taken. So all 3 of them worked for 6 days and Rakshita worked for 3 days. So the total work that needs to be done is 6 times A plus B plus C plus 3B. Using this, we will get 2 inequalities because we know that total work is greater than 7 times A plus B plus C. So if you are looking at it, 6 times A plus B plus C plus 3B is greater than 7 times A plus B plus C. Or it would imply that 2B, this is A plus B plus C, so yeah, 2B is greater than A plus C. This is the first equation that we have. The second equation that we have is 6 times A plus B plus C plus 3B is less than 15 times A plus C. So this would imply that 6A plus 9B plus 6C, which is the total work, just expanding this, is less than 15A plus 15C. Or this would imply that 9B is less than 9A plus 9C. Or B is less than A plus C. What this would imply essentially is that A plus C divided by B over here is greater than 1, and over here A plus C divided by B is less than 2. That is the ratio of A plus C divided by B. What are we required to calculate? We are required to calculate if Rakshita alone is working, how many days will she take to finish the job? What can we say about the number of days? The total work that needs to be done is 6 times A plus B plus C plus 3B, which is basically 6A plus 9B plus 6C. So the number of days Rakshita will take is 6A plus 9B plus 6C divided by B. This is equal to 6 times A plus C divided by B plus 9. We know that A plus C divided by B lies between 1 and 2. So 6 times A plus C divided by B will lie between 6 and 12. Therefore, if you are adding 9 to it, 6 times A plus C divided by B plus 9 will lie between 15 and 21. So it can be 20, it can be 16, it can be 17, it cannot be 21 because it has to be strictly less than 21 and it has to be strictly greater than 15. So the answer for this question is option D, it cannot be 21 days. In this question we are told that the population of a town in 2020 is 1 lakh. The population decreased by y% from 2020 to 2021. So the population becomes 1 lakh into 1 minus y%. This is in 2021. And in 2022, it again increased by x%. So in 2022, the population is 1 lakh into 1 minus y%, which is the population in 2021, into 1 plus x%. This we are told is greater than the population in 2020. So this is greater than 1 lakh, which is the population in 2020. This would imply that 1 minus y% into 1 plus x% is greater than 1. We are told that the difference between x and y is 10. Now what is the least possible population of the town in 2021? If the difference between x and y is 10, what does that mean? Does that mean that x is less than y or y is less than x? Clearly, for the population to increase at the end of 2 years, x has to be greater than y. Because if you observe, if say both of them are the same, if initially it was 1, it decreased by 90%. If it say decreased by 10% in 1 year and increased by 10% in the next year, the population becomes 0.9 into 1.1. This will be less than 1. Similarly, 0.8 into 1.2 will be less than 1. Similarly, 0.7 into 1.3 is less than 1. That is, if the value of x and y are the same, then it would imply that the product will definitely be less than 1. But if the product is actually greater than 1, then the increase over here has to be greater than the decrease over here. This would imply that x has to be equal to y plus 10. If you don't understand this, you can consider a case where y is actually x plus 10, that is y is greater than x, solve for it and you will get negative answer. That won't happen. So this would imply that x is y plus 10. So if you are simplifying this, you are going to get 1 minus y by 100 into 1 plus, what is x? Y plus 10 by 100 is greater than 1. If you are simplifying this, you are only going to get 100 minus y into 110 plus y is greater than 10,000. Or simplifying this, this is 11,000 minus 10y minus y square is greater than 10,000. Or the value of y into y plus 10 is less than 1000. This is the inequality that we have. So the maximum value that y can take, you can calculate it using trial and error. If y is 30, that will be 30 into 40, which is 1200. This is greater than 1000. If y is 25, 25 into 35 is equal to 875, which is less than 1000. You can use trial and error and you can figure out that 27 into 37 is equal to 999. So the maximum value that y can take is 27. Now what is the lowest possible population of the town in 2021? For the population in 2021, for this to be as low as possible, you want the value of y to be as high as possible. We have just discovered that the maximum value of y is 27%. So the minimum population of the town in 2021 will be 1 lakh into 1 minus 27%, which is equal to 73,000. So the answer for this question is option C. In this question, we are told that the Anil mixes cocoa with sugar in the ratio of 3:2 to prepare a mixture A. So in mixture A, he has cocoa and sugar. They are mixed in the ratio of 3:2. And coffee and sugar is mixed in the ratio of 7:3 to prepare mixture B. So in mixture B, he doesn't have cocoa, but he has coffee. And coffee and sugar are mixed in the ratio of 7:3. Now he combines A and B in the ratio 2:3. So A he has 2 and B he has 3 to get a mixture C. And with C he mixes an equal amount of milk to make a drink. We are required to calculate the percentage of sugar in the drink. Before we calculate the percentage of sugar in the drink, let us calculate the percentage of sugar in mixture C. We have 3 plus 2 is 5. We have 3 plus 7 is 10. And they are mixed in the ratio of 2:3. So just to make calculations easy, because this is 5 and this is 2, let us assume that the total amount of A that is mixed is 10 kgs, which is 2 into 5. Therefore, the amount of mixture B that is mixed will be 15 kgs, because A and B are in the ratio of 2:3. In 10 kgs of A, how much cocoa will be there? Cocoa and sugar is in the ratio of 3:2. So the amount of cocoa will be 3 divided by 3 plus 2 into 10, which is 3 by 5 into 10, which is 6 kgs. And the amount of sugar will be 2 divided by 3 plus 2 into 10, which is 2 by 5 into 10, which is 4 kgs. In 15 kgs of mixture B, what is the amount of cocoa? The amount of cocoa will be 0 because this doesn't have cocoa, this has only coffee and sugar. What is the amount of sugar in it? It will be 3 divided by 3 plus 7 into 15, which is 3 by 10 into 15, which is 4.5 kgs. And what is the amount of coffee? It will be 7 divided by 3 plus 7 into 15, which is 10.5 kgs. So overall, what is the weight of mixture C? That will be 10 plus 15, which is 25. What is the amount of cocoa in it? It is 6. What is the amount of sugar? It is 4 plus 4.5, which is 8.5. And what is the amount of coffee? It is 10.5. You can cross check that 6 plus 8.5 plus 10.5 is actually equal to 25. Now for C, he mixed an equal amount of milk. So he has 25 kgs of milk that he has mixed to get a drink. What is the total weight of this drink? It will be 25 plus 25, which is 50 kgs. Out of this, what is the amount of sugar? The amount of sugar is 8.5. So what is the percentage? It will be 8.5 divided by 50 into 100. This is equal to 17%. So the answer for this question is option A. In this question, we are told that there are 3 people in a room. They are A, B and C. Let their average age be equal to P years. So the P kilograms. So the total weight of these 3 guys, A, B and C, will be equal to 3P. Now if a 4th guy D is joining, A, B, C and D, the average has come down by X kgs. So the average now is P minus X. But now there are 4 people, A, B, C, D. So the total is 4 times P minus X. which is equal to 4p minus 4x. So we can calculate the weight of D. We know the sum of a plus b plus c, we know the sum of a plus b plus c plus d. So the value of D is p minus 4x. However, instead of D, if you are adding e to the room, the value of a plus b plus c plus e, now we are told that the weight increases by 2x. So the average becomes p plus 2x. This is equal to 4 times p plus 2x, which is equal to 4p plus 8x. Again, you can calculate the weight of E, because from a plus b plus c plus e, you can just subtract a plus b plus c. So the weight of E is p plus 8x. The weight of E is p plus 8x. The weight of D is p minus 4x. So the value of E minus D is equal to 12x. But this we are told is 12 kgs. We are told that E is 12 kgs more than D, or the value of X will be equal to 1, which is option C. In this question, we are told that there is a boat which takes 2 hours to travel downstream from port A to port B, and it takes 3 hours to return to port A. So let us assume that this is A, this is B. It takes 2 hours to go downstream, and it takes 3 hours to come upstream. Let us assume that the distance between A and B is D. Let the speed of the boat of this boat be equal to x, and let the speed of the water be equal to y. So now we have two equations. We have d divided by x minus y. This is when it is traveling upstream is equal to 3, and d divided by x plus y is equal to 2. If you take the reciprocals of both of them, x minus y is equal to d by 3, and x plus y is equal to d by 2. Or it would imply that the value of 2y is d by 2 minus d by 3, which is equal to d by 6. Or the value of y is equal to d by 12. So the speed of the boat is the distance divided by 12. Now we are told that there is another boat. This takes a total of 6 hours to go from B to A, this is upstream, and then come back from A to B. So the total time it has taken is 6 hours. Let us assume that the speed of this boat is, say, z. So what we have is d divided by z minus y plus d divided by z plus y is equal to 6. But we know that y, which is the speed of the stream, is d divided by 12. We'll substitute it over here. So what we are going to get is d divided by z minus d by 12 plus d divided by z plus d by 12 is equal to 6. We can simplify this. What we are going to get is 12d divided by 12z minus d plus 12d divided by 12z plus d is equal to 6. We can divide the entire equation with 6. So this is 1, this is 2d, this is 2d. So what we are going to get if you cross multiply is this will be 48 dz is equal to 144 z square minus d square. This is the equation that we have. Let us try to calculate the value of z in terms of d. So what we are going to have is 144 z square minus 48 dz minus d square is equal to 0. This is the equation that we have. We can use the formula for quadratic equations. So the value of z will be equal to 48d plus square root of d square, that is 48d square, 48 square d square, plus 4 times AC, that is 4 times 144 d square, divided by 2a, that is 2 times 144. Here it will be plus or minus, but this minus will give us a negative value for z, that is not value, that is not allowed. So we are only considering one root, which is the positive root. You can simplify this. You can take 24 in the numerator and denominator common. So if you are taking 24 common, it will be, the value of z will be 2d plus square root of, you are removing 24 square from the square root. So this is, you will take d also out, 4 plus 1 divided by 2 into 144 divided by 24 is 12. or essentially what we have is that the value of 12z is equal to 2d plus d root 5. And we are only looking for the value of 12z because we want to know the time that it takes to go from A to B. The time it takes to go from A to B is basically this one, d divided by z plus 5, which is basically equal to this one, that is 12d divided by 12z plus d. This is what we are essentially looking for. 12z is 2d plus d root 5. So the required answer will be 12 divided by 3 plus root 5. If you are looking to rationalize the denominator, you multiply the numerator and denominator with 3 minus root 5. So this is 12 into 3 minus root 5 divided by what is 3 plus root 5 into 3 minus root 5? 3 plus root 5 into 3 minus root 5 will be 3 square minus root 5 whole square, which is 5. That is 9 minus 5, which is 4. If you are simplifying this will be 3 into 3 minus root 5. This will be the answer. This is a very long question, very complicated question also, but sometimes these kind of questions are given in the examination. Anyway, the answer for this is option D. In this question, we are told that the number of coins that are collected per week by two collectors A and B are in the ratio 3:4. So we have in 1 week, the number of coins that are collected by A and B are in the ratio 3:4. So A would be say 3x, B would be 4x. The total number of coins collected by A in 5 weeks is a multiple of 7. So what is the total number of coins collected by A in 5 weeks? That will be 15x. So what we are told is that 15x is a multiple of 7. For this to happen, the only possibility is that x itself has to be a multiple of 7, because there is no common factor between 15 and 7. So if x is any number, say 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 or 6, it won't be 15 into that number will not be a multiple of 7. For 15x to be a multiple of 7, x has to be either 7 or 14 or 21 or 28 or some number which is a multiple of 7. So let us assume that x is of the form say 7y. Therefore, the number of coins collected by A in 1 week will be 3x, which is 21y. The number of coins collected by B in 1 week will be 4x, which is 28y. Therefore, the number of coins collected by A in 5 weeks will be 21y into 5, which is equal to 105y. 105 is a multiple of 7, so this adds up. So in 1 week, the A is collecting 21y coins, B is collecting 28y coins. Now what we are told is that the number of coins collected by B in 3 weeks is a multiple of 24. What is the number of coins collected by B in 3 weeks? That will be 28y into 3, which is equal to 84y. Now can we say, like we said earlier, if 84y is a multiple of 24, can we say directly that y has to be a multiple of 24? We can't say that. Why can't we say that? Because now 84 and 24 have some common factors. So for example, 84y, we'll write it as 12 into 7y. So 12 into 7y is a multiple of 24, which is 12 into 2. This 12 and this 12 are common. But if you now eliminate it, we want 7y to be a multiple of 2. Now for 7y to be a multiple of 2, y has to be a multiple of 2. Because 7y is even, 7y is a multiple of 2. And there is no common factor between 7 and 2. So now we can imply that y has to be a multiple of 2. As long as you have common factors, remove those common factors. Now you are finding 7y and 2. So we are saying that y has to be a multiple of 2. So let y be equal to 2z. If y is equal to 2z, in 1 week, the number of coins collected by A, which is 21y, will be 42z. And the number of coins collected by B in 1 week will be 28y, which is 56z. So what is the minimum number of coins collected by A in 1 week? That will happen when z is equal to 1. And the minimum number of coins collected by A in 1 week will be 42.
We at Cracku provide all the previous year CAT papers along with many other MBA examinations such as ZAT, SNAP, MAT, CMAT, TIS and PGDBA in the actual exam format. You can attempt them as a test and get a detailed analysis of your performance or download them as PDFs.
In this question, we are told that there is a fruit seller who has a stock of mangoes, bananas and apples. So he has mangoes, he has bananas and he has apples. At the beginning of the day, the number of mangoes make up 40% of his stock. So if you assume that the total number of fruits with him is n, the number of mangoes is 0.4n. And this would imply that the total number of bananas plus apples will be 0.6n. With just this information, what can we say about n? We want 0.4n to be a natural number. It cannot be a fraction. He cannot have 2.5 mangoes. 0.4 is 4 by 10. So 4 by 10 of n, this has to be a natural number, or 2 by 5 into n, this has to be a natural number. This would imply that n has to be a multiple of 5. What else can we say? Let us look at the other information that is given. Now, he sells half of his mangoes. So the number of mangoes, number of fruits that are sold is half of mangoes, which is 0.2n. And he sold 96 bananas. So the number of bananas sold is 96, and 40% of apples. Let us assume that the initial number of apples is A. So he sold 0.4A. Again, with the earlier one, we want 0.4A to be a natural number. So A also has to be a multiple of 5. And at the end of the day, he ends up selling 50% of the fruits. So basically, this will make up 0.5n, because this is 50% of the fruits. So 0.2n plus 96 plus 0.4a is equal to 0.5n, which is 50% of the fruits he had originally. This would imply that 96 plus 0.4a will be equal to 0.3n. Let us multiply the entire equation with 10 so that we can remove the decimals. So 960 plus 4a is equal to 3n, or the value of n is equal to 320 plus 4 by 3a. Now, what can we say about this? We want a to be a multiple of 5, because if a is not a multiple of 5, this 0.4a will not be a natural number. And we want this to be again a natural number, so a has to be a multiple of 3 as well. So a basically has to be a multiple of 5 and 3. This would imply that a has to be a multiple of 15. If a is a multiple of 15, what are the values that n can take? If a is equal to 15, n will be equal to 320 plus 4 by 3 into 15, because we are looking for the smallest possible value of n, which is equal to 340. 340 is a multiple of 5, so this condition is satisfied. So the minimum number of fruits that you can have at the beginning is 340. In this question, we are told that Gautam and Suhani, when they are working together, they can finish a job in 20 days. Let us assume that in one day, the work done by Gautam is G and the work done by Suhani is S. Therefore, the total work that needs to be done is 20 times G plus S. Now, if Gautam is working only 60%, the amount of work he will do is 0.6 G. Suhani must do 150% of a usual work. So Suhani must do 1.5 S to make up for it. So again, the total work will be done in 20 days. This would imply that this is also equal to 20 times 0.6 G plus 1.5 S. Both of them have to be the same. This would imply that G plus S will be equal to 0.6 G plus 1.5 S, or 0.4 G is equal to 0.5 S, or the value of 4 G is equal to 5s. In this kind of an equation, when you know that the value of G is equal to 5 by 4 times the value of S, let us assume that G is equal to 5k and S will be equal to 4k. So the total work that needs to be done is 20 times G plus S, which is equal to 20 times 9k, which is equal to 180k. So the total work that needs to be done is 180k. The faster person does 5k units of work every day. So the number of days that person is going to take, which is Gautam, will be 180k divided by 5k, which is equal to 36 days. So the answer for this question is 36. In this question, we are told that let triangle ABC be an isosceles triangle such that AB and AC are of equal length. AD is the altitude from A to BC and B is the altitude from B to AC. If AD and BE intersect at O such that angle AOB is 105 degrees, then what is the value of AD divided by BE? So let us first draw an isosceles triangle. Let us assume that this is the isosceles triangle ABC. This is A, this is B, and this is C. Let the altitude from A to BC, this AD be this, and let the altitude from B to AC be this. This is AD, this is BE. Let the length of AB be small a, therefore the length of AC is also small a. This is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees because they are altitudes. We are told that this is O and angle AOB is given to be 105 degrees. If angle AOB is 105 degrees, angle AOE will be 75 degrees. So this is 75 degrees. This would tell us that angle OAE, this will be 15 degrees. Why is this 15 degrees? Because these are three angles of a triangle. This is 90 degrees because this is the altitude. Another angle is 75 degrees. So the third angle will be 15 degrees as the sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. This would imply that angle BAD is also 15 degrees. Why is that the case? Because in an isosceles triangle, if you have an isosceles triangle like this, if you are drawing a altitude from the vertex, that is if these two sides are the same, in an isosceles triangle, if you are drawing an altitude, it will also be the median. These two will be the same and these two angles also will be the same. That is true only if you are drawing a altitude from the vertex of the isosceles triangle, that is these two sides should be the same. So in this particular case, this angle will also be 15 degrees, this also is 15 degrees. Now can you calculate the length of AD? If you are looking at triangle ABD, in triangle ABD, the hypotenuse is A. The adjacent side is 15 degrees. So AD divided by the hypotenuse, which is AB, is equal to cos of 15 degrees. Or AD is equal to AB, which is small a, into cos 15 degrees. Now if you are looking at triangle ABE, this also is a right angle triangle. Here also the hypotenuse is A, which is AB. Now if you are looking at the angle opposite this entire angle, which is 30 degrees, sine 30 degrees is equal to BE divided by AB, or the value of BE is equal to small a divided by 2. This is the value of BE, this is the value of AD. Therefore, the ratio of AD divided by BE is equal to 2 times cos 15 degrees. So the answer for this question is option C. In this question, we are told that there is a semicircle of radius 2 centimeters. We are required to calculate the ratio of the length of the largest lengths of the, basically the ratio of the length and breadth of the rectangle. So let us first draw a circle, then let us draw the diameter. We are looking only at the semicircle. Let us assume that this is the semicircle we are looking at. The top part of semicircle. In this semicircle, a rectangle is drawn. So the rectangle will be something like this. This is the largest rectangle that is possible in this semicircle. Now let this be the center of the semicircle. Let us connect the one vertex of the semicircle to the center of the circle. Center of the semicircle. Let this be O. Let this semicircle be A, B, C and D. Let the length of BC be equal to A. Let the length of OC be equal to B. OB is the radius of the circle. This is R. This is 90 degrees. And we know from Pythagoras theorem that A square plus B square is equal to R square. What are we required to maximize? We are required to maximize the value of A into 2B. Because this is B, this is B, O is the center of CD. The area of the rectangle is length into breadth. This is A into 2B. So we are required to maximize 2AB. And what is the condition we have? We know that A square plus B square is R square. So A square plus B square is equal to R square. That and we are required to maximize 2AB. This would happen only if A is equal to B. How do you know this? we can use the arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to geometric mean, which essentially says that a square plus b square is always greater than or equal to 2ab, and this equality will occur only when a is equal to b. That is 2ab, which is the area of the rectangle, is always less than or equal to r square, and it will equal r square when a is equal to b. So the area of the rectangle is maximized when a is equal to b. In that particular case, a is equal to b is equal to r divided by root 2. Anyway, this will be a, this will be a, and this will be a. So the breadth of the rectangle is a, the length of the rectangle is 2a, because this is a and this is a. So the ratio of the largest side to that of the smallest side is 2:1. So the answer for this question is option A. In this question, we are told that in a regular polygon, the interior angle exceeds the exterior angle by 120 degrees. What is the number of diagonals in this polygon? We know that if there is a n-sided polygon, n-sided regular polygon, the exterior angle, each of the exterior angle will be equal to 360 divided by n. And the sum of all the exterior angles in an n-sided polygon is always equal to 360 degrees. So each one of them will be 360 by n. And each interior angle will be equal to n minus 2 into 180 divided by n. Because we know that in an n-sided polygon, the sum of the interior angles will be n minus 2 into 180. Now what we are told is that n minus 2 into 180 divided by n is equal to 360 by n plus 120. This, if you simplify, is equal to 180 minus 360 by n. This we are told is equal to 360 by n plus 120. Or the value of 60 is equal to 720 by n, or the value of n is equal to 12. So the number of sides in that regular polygon is 12. And we know that in an n-sided polygon, what is the number of diagonals? The diagonals will be n into n minus 3 divided by 2. In an n-sided polygon, the number of diagonals is n into n minus 3 divided by 2. Here the value of n is 12. So the number of diagonals is 12 into 9 divided by 2, which is equal to 54. So the answer for this question is 54. In this question, we are asked to calculate the value of 1 plus 1 by 3 into 1 by 4 plus 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 9 into 1 by 16 plus 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 27 into 1 by 64 plus dot 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 till infinity. If you're looking at the sum of a infinite geometric progression, if you have a geometric progression which is of the form ar square and dot 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 till infinity, and if r lies between 1 and minus 1, the sum of this geometric progression is a divided by 1 minus r. In this particular case, if you are looking at the contribution of 1 in all the brackets, that will be 1 plus this 1 into 1 by 4, that is 1 by 4, plus this 1 into 1 by 16, plus this 1 into 1 by 64, and so on. This is a geometric progression where the common difference, the common ratio is 1 by 4. So this will be equal to 1 divided by 1 minus 1 by 4, which is equal to 4 by 3. Let us now look at the contribution of 1 by 3 in all the brackets. That will be this 1 by 3. So this is 1 by 3 into 1 by 4 plus this 1 by 3 will have to be multiplied by 1 by 16 plus this 1 by 3 has to be multiplied by 1 by 64 and so on till infinity. This and this differ by a factor of 4. What do I mean by that? Over here, if you take 1 by 4 out, you are going to get 1 by 3 into 1 by 4 into 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16 plus dot 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 till infinity. This we already know is equal to 4 by 3. We have just calculated that. So the contribution of 1 by 3 will be equal to 1 by 3 into 1 by 4 into 4 by 3. Similarly, if you are looking at the contribution of 1 by 9, that will be 1 by 9 into 1 by 16 plus 1 by 64 plus 1 by 256 and so on till infinity. Now you know exactly what we are going to do. We'll take 1 by 16 out of the bracket. We'll take 1 by 16 common. So this will be equal to 1 by 9 into 1 by 16 into again 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16 plus dot 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 till infinity. This we know again is equal to 4 by 3. So the contribution of 1 by 9 will be 1 by 9 into 1 by 16 into 4 by 3. So the contribution of 1 is 4 by 3. The contribution of 1 by 3 is 4 by 3 into 1 by 12, which is equal to 3 by 4. The contribution of 1 by 9 is 4 by 3 into 9 into 16 is 144. That is actually 12 square into 1 by 144. So now if you look at it, you can take 4 by 3 common, and overall what we are getting is 1 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 12 square, which is 144, and so on till infinity. This is again a geometric progression where the common ratio is 1 by 12. So its sum will be 1 divided by 1 minus 1 by 12, which is equal to 12 by 11. So the answer is 4 by 3 into 12 by 11. This is 4. So this is equal to 16 by 11. So the answer for this question is option D. Just to reiterate what we have done, the first thing you have to remember is 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16 plus dot 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 till infinity is equal to 4 by 3. Once you have calculated that, the contribution of 1 is 4 by 3. The contribution of 1 by 3 is, it is not starting with the first one, it is starting with 1 by 4, then you have 1 by 16, then you have 1 by 64 and so on. So automatically it is being reduced by 1 by 4, and this is 1 by 3 and not equal to 1. Essentially the contribution of 1 by 3 will be 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16 plus dot 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 till infinity. So if you take 1 by 4 also out, you will get 1 by 12 into our original sum. This is 1 plus 1 by 4 plus dot 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 till infinity, which is equal to the same number 4 by 3. So the contribution of 1 by 3 will be 4 by 3 into 1 by 12. Now the contribution of 1 by 9, we start off with 1 by 16 over here. 1 by 9 is not present in the first bracket or in the second bracket. It is present only when the coefficient is 1 by 16. So for 1 by 9, you have to take 1 by 16 out, and again you are going to get 1 plus 1 by 4 plus dot 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 till infinity, which is again equal to 4 by 3. So the contribution of 1 by 9, the third term will be 4 by 3 into 1 by 12 square. The contribution of the next one will be 4 by 3 into 1 by 12 whole cube. This is again a geometric progression. The sum of 1 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 12 square plus dot 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 till infinity, again using the original formula for geometric progression, is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus 1 by 12, which is 12 by 11. You multiply 12 by 11 with the coefficient which is common to all of them, which is 4 by 3. This will be 16 by 11, which is option D. In this question, we are told that AN is 46 plus 8n and BN is 98 plus 4n, where n is natural number which is less than or equal to 100. What is the sum of all the terms which are common to both these series? Let us look at the first series. You have 46 first, 46 plus 8, which is equal to 54. So the first term is 54, next term is 62, then you have 70, then you have 78 and so on. And the last term will be when n is equal to 100, and it will be 846. In Bn, the first term will be 102, next term is 106, next is 110 and so on. And the last term will be 98 plus 400, which is 498. If you are looking at the terms which are common to both of them, we have to first look at the first term which is common to both of them. After 78, you are going to get 86, then you will get 94, and finally you will get 102. So this 102 is the first term which is common to both of them. After 102 over here, you are going to get 110. This also will be common. Then you will have 118, which will be common. Then you will have 126, which is common, and so on. So the common terms themselves form an arithmetic progression where the first term is 102, second term is 110, third term is 118, and so on. And what is the last term? The last term will be 494. How can we calculate it? Because you can figure out that over here we have a difference of 8, and each of these terms, when it is divided by 8, you are actually going to get a remainder of 6. So 494 minus 6 is 488, which is also a multiple of 8. Another way to look at it is the first term of Bn is part of the common terms. The third term is common, the fifth term is common, and so on. And so the 99th term will also be common. So how many terms are there over here? You have 50 terms. The first term is 102, the last term is 494. If you are calculating the sum of an arithmetic progression where you know the first term and the last term and the number of terms, the sum is equal to the number of terms into first term plus last term divided by 2. That is, you take the average of the first term and the last term, you multiply it with the number of terms, you will get the sum of any arithmetic progression. In this particular case, that will be equal to 50 into 102 plus 494 divided by 2, which is equal to 50 into 596 divided by 2, which is equal to 50 into 298. 50 into 298 is 14,900. So the answer for this question is option A. In this question, we are told that there is a function f of x comma y, which is a real valued function such that f of 3x plus 2y comma 2x minus 5y is equal to 19x for all real numbers x and y. We are required to calculate the value of x for which f of x comma 2x is equal to 27. If you are looking at the function that is given to us, this has two variables, f of 3x plus 2y comma 2x minus 5y is equal to 19x. If you are looking at what we need to do, we need to find the value of x such that f of x comma 2x is equal to a particular number 27. So the first thing we'll do is we'll try to understand the relationship between x and y such that this x parameter is half of the y parameter. Once we get that ratio, we will be able to progress further because over here we want x comma 2x. So what we'll do is we'll try to find out if 3x plus 2y is equal to half of 2x minus 5y, what is the relationship between x and y? If you cross multiply, you're going to get 6x plus 4y is equal to 2x minus 5y, or the value of 4x is equal to 9y. So x and y should be in such a way that 4x is equal to 9y, or the value of x is equal to this is minus 9y. 4x is equal to minus 9y, or the value of x is minus 9 by 4y. So just for the sake of simplicity, let us assume that x is equal to 9k. So the value of y is equal to minus 4k. If x and y are such that x is equal to 9k and y is equal to minus 4k, if you're looking at the x parameter, the first parameter, that will be 3x plus 2y, which is 3 times 9k minus 2 times 4k, that is minus 8k. This is equal to 19k. And the second parameter will be 2x minus 5y. 2x is 18k minus of minus 20k, because 5y is minus 20k. So this is 38k. So f of 19k comma 38k is equal to 19 into what is the value of x? X is 9k. So the value of f of 19k comma 38k is equal to 9 into 19 into k. Now if you assume that 19k is a parameter p, then the value of f of p comma 2p is equal to 9p. Now we want f of x comma 2x to be equal to 27. That is, we want 9p to be equal to 27, or we want the value of p to be equal to 3. So the answer for this question is 3. To reiterate, what we have noticed is over here the first parameter and the second parameter are in the ratio of 1:2. Once you realize that, we try to calculate the relationship between 3x plus 2y and 2x minus 5y. They also have to be in the ratio of 1:2, and they will be in the ratio of 1:2 if x and y have this relationship. That is, if x is equal to minus 9 by 4 times y. Now just to make calculations easy, because we want to avoid fractions, we assume that x is equal to 9k. Then y will be equal to minus 4k, because that ratio has to be minus 9 by 4. Once you have it, we'll calculate the value of 3x plus 2y, that will be 19k. We'll calculate the value of 2x minus 5y, that is 38k. As expected, the ratio is 1:2. This is equal to 19x, which is 19 into 9k. So f of 19k comma 38k is 9 into 19 into k. Now just to again remove any complexity, we assume 19k to be equal to p. So f of p comma 2p is 9p. So the value of p is 3. So the answer for this question is 3.
Google search Cracku CAT formulas PDF. Click on the first link. You will get a list of topics for CAT. Click on one of the topics. Download the PDF to get a list of formulas for the topic.